stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
It's going to be another beautiful sunny day, but it'll warm up to 80 degrees, plus a little windy, a southwest wind 10 to 20, maybe some gusts around 25 miles per hour. Tonight, a clear sky will drop off to the lower 50s. Tomorrow, a mainly sunny day, highs in the upper 70s. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
It's Justin Acree for CertaPro Painters, and CertaPro knows how important your home is to you. That's why they're focused on helping you bring fresh color to your home. You can trust CertaPro Painters to get the job done right, even in those hard-to-reach places. Free estimates, reliable communication, professional painting, all at the right price. And each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They're always easy and they get you a quote right away. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Proudly serving Little Rock and the surrounding areas, All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros is your trusted one-stop shop for all your automotive needs. We know that tire needs and auto repair services can be stressful and unplanned, but at All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros, we offer fast and simple financing for everyone. Whether you're looking for new tires or any kind of auto repair, we have your financing needs covered. Visit us in Mapleville or Little Rock today or online at allabouttireandbrake.com. Tire Pros. Love the drive.
Double your chances to win in March with two big promotions. On Fridays, embrace the madness and win a share of $150,000 in cash and free play. On Saturdays, starting March 8th, go for the gold and win your share of up to $10,000 in cash and free play in the 80K Fool's Gold giveaway. Enjoy live entertainment all month long and play for your chance to win big. Only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Shelter Agent Paul Killingsworth in Cabot, Jonathan Stone in Lone Oak, or Stephen Reeser in Jacksonville today.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz.
All right, welcome into the show. What's up, everybody? Wes Moore, Joe Franklin. We are ready to roll. And what is our last regular show of the week?
No, tomorrow would be.
It's not going to be regular.
No, it won't be regular.
It's going to be a very, very short show.
You're right.
Probably an hour at most. And then Thursday and Friday, we did decide no show, right?
Well,
depending on Razorbacks and all that mess. Yeah, but up in the air. But it won't be a normal show no matter what happens.
That was the plan originally, and I think maybe it's being rediscussed here. But yeah, it is a great day to have a full show today on a birthday Tuesday for Wes.
Yeah, it is. It's another day.
Right?
It really is another day.
That you're happy to see another year for sure.
No doubt. No, it's been great. All the text messages and email messages, Facebook, Twitter messages. I appreciate everybody. It's always nice to be remembered on your birthday and to have friends to remember you on your birthday. So that is awesome. I got up this morning, alarm went off early, and Allison's like, "Let's get up." I'm like, "Oh, Oh, I got to get up. It's the dentist. I had to go to the dentist this morning on my birthday to get. I had a filling that had cracked, and it was noticed on my just routine, normal cleaning a couple of weeks ago. And we got to get this fixed. We don't want it to get worse or create some other problems. So
you almost forgot about it, because that seems like it would be easy to remember because you know the date.
Oh no, it was alarm first thing in the morning. Like I don't want to get up. Oh, I got to get up. I got to go to the dentist. It was that kind of a thing.
Gotcha.
That I remembered first thing out of the morning. So not the great start to a birthday, but at least I got it done, and there were no other problems, and I'm all mouth healthy and ready to roll. So I'm good for the state basketball tournament. And we're going to talk a lot about that today because there are a bunch of great matchups throughout the Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But the Benton-Maumelle game is getting a lot of focus because it's two local teams, two big teams, two teams that are really good. And a lot of people wanted to see this matchup. We're going to see this matchup at the state tournament. Today we're going to talk about it because their head coaches are going to join us. We've got the Benton Panthers head coach Dexter Hendricks joining us at 1:30 today. And then Michael Shook, the head coach of the Maumelle Hornets, will join us at 2:30.
Get to see and hear about both sides and the thoughts going into this matchup. So that'll be good.
Very talented teams. Of course, Terrion Burgess, probably the one that people are most familiar with the Benton Panthers. And the Panthers just kind of rolled through the Greene County Tech or the Paragould 5A tournament. They beat Little Rock Christian Academy. That was a marquee matchup. I guess I should start. They beat West Memphis to start things off. But that matchup with J.J. Andrews and Little Rock Christian Academy, that was must-see TV. There were a lot of people watching that stream. And then Benton takes care of Marion in the semifinals, and they'll take on Maumelle. Maumelle started things off by beating Russellville. Then they beat Hot Springs. That was a fun game. And then Catholic. The Rockets were kind of that Cinderella story out of their 4 seed, knocking off the 1 seed Harrison, then beating Nettleton with buzzer beaters to advance to the semifinals. And so Maumelle had that Cinderella story they had to get rid of first before they could get to the championship game. So we'll talk to both head coaches about their road to the state championship game and what they think of each other and their team. So we'll get a good preview of the 5A boys state championship game. And we got to start previewing, too, the SEC tournament because this time tomorrow, Arkansas will be in the second half against South Carolina. And it's a chance to exercise some demons. Heard their assistant coach yesterday, and that was one of the things. He said, looking back, at that game, thinking about it, we got dominated from the inside. They outscored them, the 5 and 4 position, by like 50 points. When you combine their 2 big men with Arkansas's big men getting nothing, it was like 53-0 or something like that.
Can't have that again.
And then he said, we've got to do a better job on offense moving the ball. He said, South Carolina, they play really good defense out on the perimeter. And we got too focused up in trying to go one-on-one, and they're hard to beat one-on-one because they're quick enough. The way you beat those guys is by ball movement. And so when you move the ball from side to side, inside to out, when your guy comes to you, he's then a little bit out of position. Then you can dribble, drive, and penetrate.
Well, that sounds like credit to South Carolina for making Arkansas play that way because Arkansas is not a one-on-one type team to do some isolations. Now, they did do some of that with Boogie Flan in the lineup, but since then, they haven't played that way. So that sounds more like you give South Carolina the credit for forcing Arkansas to play that way.
They did a lot of good things that day against Arkansas, and Arkansas didn't do very many good things at all. And until the very end, when South Carolina kind of took their foot off the pedal, and Arkansas took it from a 30-something point game to a 19-point game and made it look halfway respectable. But if you watched it, you knew it was not even that close. But that was his key. He said, offensively, we're going to have to move the ball. We're going to have to be a little bit more patient with it and not just rely on one-on-one moves. And then, of course, they got to get their big guys involved and do a better job of scoring and a much better job of defending the post against South Carolina tomorrow at noon. Pre-game is 11:30 right here on the Buzz. So I'm figuring noon, game's over about – it should start, at 12:02, 12:03, whatever. and go about 2 minutes, 2 hours, 10 minutes, be over around 2:15 or so. Post-game show, commercials. I'm thinking somewhere right around 3 o'clock. We'll be on the air for an hour show tomorrow.
Yeah. Be a nice short show.
Nice abbreviated, basically like a post-game show.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the post-game show I used to do with Josh, just a shorter version of the post-game show. So that it should be a fun show. And then on Thursday and Friday, with the possibility of the Razorbacks still playing again at noon or the state championship games, that's going to affect our programming on the Buzz and our shows, and we'll play it by ear. All I know is that we've got games starting every day down in Hot Springs at 12, and then another one at 1:45. And then we have a little bit of a gap where they clear the arena, clean the arena, and then they bring the fans in for the second session at 6 o'clock, and we got a 6 o'clock tip-off and then a 7:45 tip-off. So we're normally there from about – I try to get there an hour ahead of time, and then by the time I finish my Fox 16 stuff at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, it's a full, about a 12, 13-hour day.
So you do lives from there?
Yes, yeah.
So you have to do radio, TV, go back and forth, and do some live shots?
It used to be worse. Before when I was on the zone, I would start the day at 10 o'clock and do a half a zone, then we'd lead into the games. At least now I don't have to get started till 12. And if there's anything we have to do, it'll be a shortened show. And then I have that gap, and I'll do my live shots for Fox 16 at 5:30, 6:30, and then break away, do the games at night. Then those games will end, and then we'll do the live shots for Fox 16 at 9 o'clock, well, roughly 9:50 is when my shot hits, and then we'll wrap it up about 10 o'clock.
A lot of work in a couple of days, but that's not anything different from what you do on a daily basis.
No, it's just I get to do it outside, or there at the games, which to me is even more fun. I'd rather be outside the studio than stuck inside the office, and now I get to be at the games, actually call the games, and then report on the games afterwards. So it's a win-win for me. It's a long day. It can be stressful trying to keep up with everything that needs to be done, but also just have to be almost tunnel vision. And I can only do what I can do right now. And whatever that is, whether it's doing the play-by-play color for radio or TV, or doing our show, or doing a live shot, whatever. It's just I got to do this one, then I got to do this one, then I got to do. It's just one thing at a time.
What are crowds like for those early sessions? And obviously, when you can get there a little later in the day, even if it's a Thursday, Friday, compare those two, and then when you get to the weekend, when you get to Saturday, you're going to have the bigger crowds.
Yeah, we start off Thursday with the 2A girls and boys, Barton, Izard County, Tuckerman, EPC. There'll be nice crowds. I'm going to guess 3,500. There'll be plenty of seats in the arena. It seats 5,500, 6,500 people. So there'll be plenty for people who want to come and just watch. That night with the 3A girls, Lamar, Dover, great matchup. Man, separated by like 20 miles and playing each other. Melbourne, Osceola coming from far distances. I don't see a packed arena for those games either. I'd guess 3,500 or so. Now, Friday for the PA to Queen girls game and then the Morrill to Mills game, I think that's going to be that'll be by far the most attended game so far. That session will be. Mm-hmm. I know for sure they're letting the upper school and kids out at Pulaski Academy and trying to get everybody down there for that game. And then Morrill to the Mills. They had a ton of fans down in Magnolia for that regional. So I know they're going to travel, and they'll be there in Hot Springs for that final game.
Like how some of the schools, what they'll put together for the students. My daughter, for example, last year, Central playing the two games, they just loaded up buses of students and took them to the game.
That is awesome. That's the way they should do it. 5A girls and boys that night. With the distance for Farmington and Greene County Tech, they'll travel, but it won't be a packed gym. But Benton and Maumelle, that'll be probably the most attended game. I could see it possibly being packed, 55, 6,000, 6,500, whatever.
That's a great
Bobby
crowd.
was telling us. I could see where that game is packed, and it's hard to find a seat. Then the Saturday noon game of the girls is Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Northside. And then we got Bryant and Springdale. It'll be a great crowd with it being a Saturday afternoon, 1:45 start. And then we'll break, have a session, and it'll be the 1A girls and boys, and it'll be, smaller crowds. West Side, Greers Ferry. Now, all of Earl will be there because the Earl girls are playing and then the Earl boys. That's the only school that's represented by both boys and girls in the state championship game. So all of Earl will be there Saturday night, but then you'll have Mark Tree, West Side, Greers Ferry, so not really close to Central Arkansas. They got to travel. I expect, a couple thousand there for that. But there'll be
they'll travel, though, because it's on a Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Well, and this is it. I mean, you're going to do what you got to do to be there. But with it being a smaller school, you'll just have, as natural, fewer fans. But I expect the 5A boys and the 6A boys to be a pretty packed gym. That'll be a great environment that night
marquee
and
games.
Afternoon. No, it really is. The TV, and Bobby talked about this a little bit. The TV has hurt the crowd for football. I mean, you think about it, no matter how much you love a team, unless your kid's playing, I get it. You're going to go to the game no matter what. But if it's one of those and it's nasty and rainy and a December afternoon, you're like, you know what? Instead of driving all the way to Little Rock, let's just watch it on TV. I don't think it hurts basketball as much. I agree with Bobby, but there's still going to be that occasion. Let's take, for example, Springdale. Casual fan of Springdale. Are you going to drive all the way to Hot Springs and go to the game?
Yeah,
or are you just going to go, you know what, let's just watch this one on TV?
Convenience of watching at home. And that's what a lot of teams, schools are fighting these days because everything is available TV-wise.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's one of the big fights, issues that athletic directors across the country are having. You got to have that fear of missing out, the FOMO of not being at the game. Everybody else is talking about how much fun it is, the environment, how great it was being there, whether it's the tailgating, after the game, whatever. You got to create that must-see experience. If not, it's just too easy. Sit there and watch it at home. It's free. Your drinks are free. The bathroom's right there. It's just so much easier on yourself. Also today, we got Kyle Sutherland joining us. He's coming on at 3:30 today, and he can help break down some of these other games that we haven't hit on so far. And then Coach Z at 2:10 from Nashville, give us a little bit more on South Carolina and the SEC tournament. I've been hearing a little SEC talk because we're getting close to it. Man, I think, the first-round games, they are what they are. They're teams that are either trying to improve their seed or maybe get into the tournament like a Texas or an Oklahoma. Texas Vanderbilt, I think, could be a fun game because of the styles that they play. Arkansas's played both of those teams. Well, they went 3-0 against those two teams, and they don't play a lot of defense. The focus isn't on defense. The focus for those two teams is score some points. And I think with Texas and Vanderbilt, I think it's going to be an up and down offensive shootout. Whoever's the hottest team, man, that would be a fun game to watch after Arkansas and South Carolina get up. Because I think, once again, the Arkansas-South Carolina game is going to be ugly. I mean, I don't think much is going to – I hope a lot changes for Arkansas, but it's just the style of play, the aesthetics to to watch. I don't think it's going to be that fun of a game to watch. And then you back that up with Texas Vanderbilt, that's the game to go to and watch as a fan.
There's some excitement with Vandy and the fans, the way the team has played this year, and especially the way they played at home. And now you'll be able to draw some of those fans to the game for Vandy, which in the past you probably haven't been able to draw any of those.
No, they've created that excitement, and now they'll want to go to the tournament and support Vanderbilt. I think the next game's a dud, LSU, Mississippi State. Joe was with us yesterday, Joe Klein, and he talked about how LSU's kind of, injuries have hit them. It's been a hard season. They're at the end of the year. I don't want to say they've packed the bags and just already hit the exits, but I feel like Mississippi State should roll in this game. LSU's going to do everything they can, just because it's their last chance. If you got anything left, you're going to give it in this one. But I think Mississippi State shouldn't have any problems with LSU. But then Oklahoma, Georgia. Georgia's been playing as – for all the second-tier teams, not your top four teams that everybody's talking about, Georgia down the stretch has been like Arkansas, one of the hot teams playing well. And Georgia, about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, they were out of the tournament. But by the way they finished, Georgia is back in the NCAA tournament, and now they're one of those teams hoping to win a couple games and maybe get a better seed.
Mike White, he gets all the blame when they're not playing well and doesn't get much credit when they are playing well, but you can see that there has been a turnaround here with Georgia in these last few games.
Why's he so easy to pick on?
I think because his dad's an AD, and he kind of looks really young. So even though, even when he gets older, they still treat him as that up-and-coming young coach. And he's not that anymore. He has plenty of experience.
I've always liked him. I've never had an issue with him, but he does get a lot of criticism, and sometimes it seems a little unjust.
Overboard.
Yeah, undue criticism. And then that sets up that's all the games on Wednesday. So I'd say there's 2 really good games on Wednesday, and of course we're going to be watching Arkansas, South Carolina. Before we hit this break and start talking some high school basketball, I'll hit all the D3 Auto Sales text line questions. Jeff and Bryant says, hey, Joe, maybe you can help him. He wants some tickets for tonight's game in Fayetteville from the morning show. Josh was going to send them digitally. He hadn't gotten them yet.
Yeah, that's not really for Josh to do, but
Josh sends that on to Chuck, right? And Chuck takes care of it.
Yeah, I'll put something out there.
We'll try to help you out, Jeff, and see if we can't get the ball rolling on that.
Figure that out.
Kim White says, happy birthday, Wes. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. Same from the 870. Awful kind of you. Here's another one. Happy birthday, Wes. I will still beat you in golf. Probably. We went to Top Golf Sunday for a little. It was the first time I've ever been did this. It was a charity golf tournament at Top Golf where they were raising money, and it was a pretty fun event. I enjoyed it. I hadn't swung the club all year.
Really?
Yeah,
How it was time?
Yeah, I played over Christmas, and that was it. Around New Year's Eve. Maybe it was New Year's Day. Maybe I did play this year. I can't remember if it was New Year's Eve day or New Year's Day. Anyway, that's how long it's been since I played. And felt good to swing the golf club. I can't wait to get back out there and start working on my game. 501 says, guarantee you guys whole different game tomorrow. Last game, they were not mentally there. They were beat when they walked out on the court. That's from Lee. Lee, I do agree that we're going to see a better version of Arkansas. Even before, I thought it was going to be a close but ugly game and Arkansas would be able to pull it out. Now it's neutral site, and we all, we've spoken at length of how South Carolina is a different team at home than they are on the road. I don't think they'll suck as bad as they do on the road because it is neutral, so it'll be more of a 50-50 for your fans there, although Arkansas should have more fans there than South Carolina. And I'm not saying Arkansas is going to have a ton of fans there on a Wednesday afternoon. I'm sure they'll have a couple of thousand fans there. But, South Carolina will have 300. So they'll definitely have a better home court advantage because of that. But
they know how to play in that first game, too, and they know that they match up well against Arkansas if they're able to play the same way and Arkansas plays the same way. But, in saying that, Arkansas, that was the one game that they really didn't play well, and they were just out of it from the start. So we talk about looking at the film. South Carolina is more likely to look at the film than Arkansas would be to see what they did well and see if they can take advantage of some of the things that they played well and did well in that first matchup.
You remember Z was talking about the environment that day in Columbia, how there was hardly anybody there, and it was just dead. It was a dead gym. You're going to have something kind of close to it, honestly, Wednesday. First game of the SEC tournament.
There may be some locals that show up, though.
There'll be some. I just don't see it being that electric. Like a Bud Walton Arena. It's not going to be electric. It's not going to be when you're going through warm-ups and you're jacked up ready to play because of the crowd. You're going to have to bring that own energy. You're going to have to get excited from your teammates to start the postseason. This is a postseason. This is your first game in the postseason. You're going to have to bring that energy because I don't think the crowd's going to supply it for you.
We've seen that in NCAA tournament also.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because the same thing we're talking about, you have access where you can watch it at home, and then some of the places that they play are so big because they play a lot of them in NBA arenas. But it's amazing that this time of year you can see a typical NBA game, that game is packed out, and then you see an NCAA tournament game at that same site, and there's not much of a crowd there at all.
No, you'll have some of that in those first games, that's for sure. Savage says, happy birthday, Wes. Did Arkansas get the big basketball commit yesterday? He wasn't committing yesterday, was he? I thought it was the 17th. I think it's next Monday, Savage.
Monday.
The 17th?
Let's see when he plans on committing.
Joel looked that up. TP in Little Rock says, must win for the Hogs, especially after what Cal said about how the SEC tournament is not important. 20 wins, magic number. Okay, TP, you can keep saying 20 is the magic number until the cows come home. It's not the magic number. Those days are dead, are so far gone. There is no magic number when you play in the SEC.
Says Amen is going to announce April 1st.
April 1st. Okay, so it's changed. There you go, Savage. Chico and Pine Bluff, happy birthday, Wes. Go Cowboys. Like to see, hey, how about that for my birthday? Go give me a nice free agent signing, Cowboys.
Well, Jerry already said that's not happening.
I know. They got Javonte Williams from the Broncos. They're running back.
Yeah, they needed a running back.
Yeah. They got a guard from the Miami Dolphins. Is it like Rob Jones, something like that? Just two common names. He started for the Dolphins, but he wasn't, like, good. I mean, I was reading the stat. He was like one of the worst guards in the NFL for pass pro.
That's not good.
No, it's not. And he's expected to compete with two other guys for Zach Martin's spot. So they brought him in for depth and for competition. And then they signed Solomon Thomas. I like Solomon Thomas. Y'all remember Solomon Thomas. His sister went to the University of Arkansas, and Solomon came down to Arkansas, Stanford, and somebody else. And a lot of people thought Solomon Thomas was coming to Arkansas. And he ended up going to Stanford, had a very good college career, drafted by the 49ers, like second or third round, played for the 49ers for a while. And he's been in the league for like 7, 8, 9 years. Been a nice, he's a contributor. He played for the Jets last year, and he was just a role player. He didn't start all the time, but he got snaps. Guys. He's part of the rotation. He's a rotation guy. And the good thing about Solomon Thomas, he can play defensive end and he can play defensive tackle. He's a swing guy. And he's from the Dallas area, so he's coming home. Maybe that inspires him and gets him motivated a little bit more. All right, more of your texts coming up. We got to take a break. Coming up, we're running a little late. Sorry, Coach. Dexter Hendricks is going to join us, head coach of the Benton Panthers. Stick around. We're just getting started. It's Out of Bounds.
Insure your auto, home, life, and everything in between with Shelter Insurance. Find a local agent by calling 1-800-SHELTER or at shelterinsurance.com.
This is SportsCenter.
The NFL's first day of free agency was yesterday, and there was no shortage of headlines. The biggest deal by average annual income was handed to Sam Darnold, who received 3 years, $105 million, with $55 million guaranteed from the Seahawks. That's good for around $33 million a year. Darnold is coming off easily his best season, where he threw for over 4,000 yards and had 35 touchdowns and 12 interceptions for the Vikings. Pro Razorback Dre Greenwald is moving from the Niners to the Broncos on a 3-year, $35 million deal. Injuries have been an issue for Greenwald, as he's played just one full season and is coming off a season which he played only 2 games. And the Commanders and Texans pulled off a blockbuster deal that sent left tackle Laramie Tunsil and a 4th rounder to Washington for a 3rd rounder and a 7th rounder this year, plus a 2nd and a 4th in 2026. He will slide in as the new starter for the Commanders. Stay tuned to The Buzz for more updates during NFL free agency. I'm Christian Weaver with The Buzz Radio Network.
What a great show today, Roger.
Sure was.
Can we top it tomorrow?
Yeah, try it.
Will McIntyre tomorrow?
Craig O'Neal, Trey Reese.
Oh, my gosh, you're doing great.
Come on, it's Morning Mayhem.
Tune in to Out of Bounds to hear from Captain Kendall Diggs. Brought to you by Stephen Elmore with Shelter Insurance. For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Stephen Elmore or give him a call at 501-537-0959.
Roger, did you know that Oaklawn Sports is the mobile app that lets you bet anywhere in Arkansas?
Anywhere, so I can bet the over when I'm in Dover.
Indeed you can.
I can take the underdog in Dogtown.
Absolutely.
You're telling me I can bet on the pigskin in Piggott?
Yep.
Hoops in Humnoke, baseball in Bauxite, long shots in Lavanka?
All of the above.
Anywhere, huh?
Anywhere.
Nice.
Easy to use and even easier to fund. Bet with confidence. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwatney Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
If there's anything green in your yard right now, it's probably a weed, and you need to do something about it. Weed control and fertilization service from Sanders Ground Essentials is easier and less expensive than doing nothing or even trying to do it yourself. 315-9395 or go online at sandersground.com. Let's get growing.
Birch Tree Communities and Roller Funeral Homes present coverage of the 2025 Arkansas State High School Basketball Championships on 103.7 The Buzz. March 13th through the 15th, brought to you in part by UAMS Health, Hotel Hot Springs, and Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Every time the sun goes down, I let you take control. Feel the paradise before my world implodes. And tonight had something wonderful. My bad habits lead to late nights, sitting alone. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I got nothing left to lose or use or do my best.
All right, Thursday at noon, we get it all started with the 2A girls high school finals. Barton and Izard County. We'll go all day Thursday, all day Friday, and wrapping us up Friday night, 7:45 game. It is the 5A boys game, Benton and Maumelle. Oh my goodness, that's going to be a great one. Dexter Hendricks, head coach of the Benton Panthers, joins us now. Coach, welcome in to Out of Bounds. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you guys having me today.
Excited to talk about this game because a lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people have wanted to see this game and feel like it's probably the matchup of the two best teams in 5A, and at least you've proven it, and you're going to meet for the title. What do you see in this game?
Yeah, I think it'll be a great challenge for our team. Something that we're just extremely excited about. We enjoy having this week to prepare, but at the same time, the kids. The whole staff, we're just excited and ready for Friday night. We know we got a few big days to prepare for, but just like you said, we're just like everybody else. We're excited for the challenge, excited to get to play in such a big game Friday night.
From a semifinal game, what's it been like after winning that game and knowing that you're in a championship? What's the schedule been like leading up to this game against Maumelle?
Sure. Well, a lot of our thought process, you try not to think about it throughout the season, but after us, coming up short and losing that state championship game last year, we've been trying to just focus on the day-and-day process all season long, but in the back of our mind, we wanted to get back here. There's no doubt about it, and just super proud of our guys for giving everything they had to give us another opportunity to get back here. And since, we got done playing last Marion on Saturday, that was a tough stretch. Playing Little Rock Christian that Friday afternoon, turn around less than 24 hours, playing a great Marion team. And, very fortunate to get both of those wins after the first round win against West Memphis. And so it was a busy week last week. So we definitely wanted to get some rest, come back home, get some rest, and then we started on it probably Sunday evening, just started preparing, doing everything you have to do as a staff to get your team ready and trying to put the week schedule together. And we're about to hit the practice floor again today and just do everything we can to get our guys ready to go Friday night.
How well does Maumelle compare to a LRCA or a Marion and the two teams you just played?
Sure, I think there's a lot of comparisons there. I think Maumelle scores the basketball really well, but I think the other two teams, speaking Little Rock Christian and Marion, both have a lot of really good athletes and very athletic and can get up and down the floor. And I think a great challenge for us is going to be controlling the glass. I think that's no secret when you play Maumelle. It's the same when we played a very tough physical Marion team, and then it's no easy challenge either keeping J.J. Andrews off the glass when you have to play him at Little Rock Christian. So that's going to be another big key for us. But with our team, it's been the same all year long. It's going to start with our defense. If we come ready to play on the defensive end and defend like we're capable of, that's what we're really trying to get our guys to understand, that everything with us begins with great defense.
Offensively, how's this Benton team playing when they're playing their best?
I think we've done a lot of good things offensively. I think the best thing what we're doing right now is sharing the basketball. I think, we've set a school record this year, and a game earlier in conference play where we had 30 team assists in one game. So I think that's the best thing we've done all year. And, again, going back to defense, playing great defense, and get out in transition, and really make the right play. And I think that's a big thing with us. We've been sharing the basketball and having multiple guys step up and score the ball really well for us offensively.
Dexter Hendricks, the head basketball coach of the Benton Panthers, joins us on Out of Bounds. Coach, what is it about Maumelle that you're impressed with?
Well, I think it starts with just the way they can score the basketball. They have multiple guys that shoot the ball at a high level from the three-point line, and they also have guys that do a great job getting downhill and getting to the paint, getting to the rim. So I think to have any success against Maumelle, it starts with you slowing them down when they're on offense and you're playing defense. So I think that's the number one thing that they do really, really well, is they score the basketball, and that's where a lot of our emphasis is going to be, is really playing on the defensive end and trying to get multiple stops in a row, keeping them out of transition, keeping their really good shooters out, from catching and shooting it, doing everything we possibly can on the defensive end to make it easier for us to get out in transition.
Coach, based on the matchup, do you expect a faster paced game?
I think so. I think so. They're a team that definitely likes to play, really fast. And I think it's no secret with us. We'd like to get up and down the floor too. The tempo is something that we feel like it's good for us when we can get the pace in our game. And I think Maumelle's comfortable at playing at that level too. There's no doubt about it. So I do expect this game probably to be a pretty fast-paced game.
I was just looking. I'm doing a color on this game. Justin Acre will be doing play-by-play, so I'm doing color. And you know what? This is going to be an easy game for me because this is going to be nonstop action. He's going to be one talking nonstop all the time. I'm going to kick back and watch.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. We're going to be trying, like I said, to get some defensive stops, but I think a lot of that is going to be a challenge of how well they play off.
What does Ricketts bring to you? I mean, everybody, I'm sure, focuses on Terrion Burgess, but to have a different scoring threat, someone that can provide that help, what all has he brought to the team?
Playing basketball, and just really all season long. He's the guy that worked his tail off in the off-season, preseason, keep improving. But, yeah, he's the guy that anytime Harrison or Terrion have the basketball, our team just kind of takes a deep breath, and everybody feels a little bit better in their playmaking abilities and where they can score the basketball. But he's a guy that also is just not just a scorer, but can make plays. And that's where I think that he's really improved. He's got out in transition and made some really good plays, finding his open teammates or getting to the rim and finishing. But you're right, Terrion draws so much attention. So a guy like Harrison has really done a good job, working with that. And he's really tough to stop from getting to the paint. When he gets shooting the ball well from outside, he can be tough to handle. But another big thing with Harrison is his leadership this year. He plays the same, a good play, bad play. He's level-headed all the time, and there's senior leadership between Harrison and Terrion, a few of our other seniors that really did big.
Would you describe the roster as an experienced roster, or do you have some youth on this Benton roster?
Well, I think for the most part, we're a very veteran team. We bring back five guys, really 6 guys that played in the state championship game last year. So that's pretty unique. You talk about things of just knowing where the scoreboard is in the arena, knowing that a 60-second timeout goes to 90 seconds, just having that veteran experience that we played in the game last year, the little things that make a big difference, I think should help us. You would hope so. But you can't forget, there's no doubt about it, a big part of our team this year has been our Anthony Spratt, 6'6" freshman guard that is playing really, really well, especially for a freshman, and had a huge part of our season. And he's a guy that just has a chance to be really, really special, and he's done a lot of good things, especially for his first time to play varsity basketball.
What do you think they learned from last year's experience that they can pay off this year?
That's a great question. We asked ourselves that a lot as a staff. What can we? It's no fun to think about. The outcome of last year. We were right there, and kind of let it slip away in the fourth quarter. But the one thing you can do from it is take something from it and grow and learn. And I think that's something we really tried to put a lot of emphasis on. And I think just the overall of staying hungry, understanding the fight. How it's going to be a fight to get back here, but also a fight to finish it. And so I think that's been a lot of fuel that we could add to our team this year. Understanding, just like I said, the gym, the setup, the day by day, that day, and how the day works as far as process of getting ready and preparing for that game day. I think that's something that hopefully, like I said, our team will really take with that experience and use it to good use on Friday night.
It's so hard to get there and to win that state, or to win your side of the bracket in the state tournament. And there's that celebration and the big presentation at the end of the game. People are taking pictures, and I think sometimes it's such an accomplishment to get there. Sometimes they forget there's another big game. You don't want to be the one walking off at the end of the game with that bad taste in your mouth. So it's so hard to reset after all that celebrating and people patting you on the back all week. The biggest game is still to be played. You haven't done anything yet. I mean, you have, but you haven't.
Well, Wes, to your point, I think that's a very good point. Last year was when we won that game, the semifinal game against Parkview, and made it to the state championship game. Our locker room was just really excited. Guys were, just real excited. Water was being thrown everywhere. We were, it's only the second time in school history Benton has made it to the state championship game last year. And we were, and they earned it to get there. This Saturday against Marion, this past Saturday against Marion, when we won that game, I went to the locker room, and it was not that way. This group was very reserved, kind of very let's go get one more type of attitude. And so I think those are one of the things where the experience might really help. We know we have a great challenge, playing a really well coached team from Maumelle and a very talented team in Maumelle, but I think our guys definitely had the attitude and mentality of let's go finish it this year.
You mentioned Terrion earlier. What kind of growth have you seen out of him his senior year?
On and off the floor. I say it all the time with Terrion Burgess is, players learn a lot from coaches, but coaches sure can learn a lot from players. And I've learned a lot from Terrion just being on his coach for the last 3 years, especially this senior year. A lot of big expectations, a lot of, thing, and he handles it great every single day. He's the same, no matter if it's a good day, bad day, whatever it might be. He's the same Terrion every single time. And I think the biggest thing that's really he's done well is he's been such a leader on the floor. He's such a picking up guys, picking up a teammate maybe after a bad play or a rough game or whatever it might be, or motivating a team to get a defensive stop at a very crucial time in the game. But I think overall his leadership has just been just improved so much over this past year.
Awesome to hear. Coach, thank you for your time. This was a lot of fun. Can't wait to see you guys down there Friday. Good luck, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you guys. Have a great day.
Dexter Hendricks joining us on Out of Bounds. It is Benton and Maumelle, 7:45, 5A Boys State Championship game. Of course, you can hear it right here on the Buzz or listen or watch it on Arkansas PBS Sports. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the first hour. You want to jump in here? Come on. 661-1037. You can text us there at 661-1037. That is the D3 Auto Sales text line. Yep, we got some stuff over there. We'll jump on that when we come back. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Highland Pellets is a leading producer of sustainable wood pellets based in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. They are committed to providing renewable energy solutions by transforming locally sourced wood into clean, efficient biomass fuel for global markets. Highland Pellets is a significant contributor to the regional economy, creating jobs, supporting local forestry, and driving environmentally friendly innovation. View open jobs such as heavy equipment operators, journeymen, apprentice electricians, supervisors, and millwrights. Apply online at highland-pellets.com.
This is Pat Bradley for Wood Grill Buffet. Wood Grill has the state's largest and freshest buffet with 190 items, including 30 meat items, food bar, salad bar, and dessert bar. Wood Grill is open Thursday through Sunday for lunch and dinner. They have 2 large private dining rooms, and Wood Grill also does catering. Wood Grill Buffet can drop off any order with staff service for 25 to 1,000 people. Wood Grill is at exit 118 in Benton, 1916 Congo Road, or call 501-778-9656. Check them out.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. A wise person said, a balanced diet is a cookie in each hand. For the month of March, Double B's can do even better than that, as you can score 3 delicious Otis Spunkmeyer cookies for the low, low price of $1.99. My co-workers at the Pinnacle Church of Christ just loved them and said finally it was worth working alongside me. Such is the magic of a warm, fresh-baked cookie. Be a hero at home or the office and take a bunch to the folks you love. White chocolate macadamias, M&M candies, or the all-American chocolate chip. Folks will be thrilled to see you. Just don't eat all of them before you get there. March is Cookie Month at Double B's. And Double B's is where you gas it, grab it, and go for cookies. That's Double B's.
Hey folks, Trey Johnson with HJ Trailer Sales. Thank you for making us the #1 North Star truck bed dealer in the world. We have the newly redesigned North Star beds in stock, plus RKI beds, Bedrock, Butler, and Wilrow. If you make a living with a trailer or use a trailer in any way, look up your hometown trailer store on Facebook. Get big store amenities with hometown service. Stop by HJ Trailer Sales in Hot Springs or Paragould, or online at hjtrailersales.com.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. Little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's Business Solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Shelter Agents Richard Yeager or Jason Daly in Little Rock, or Agent Lawrence Forrester in Cabot today.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
Spring is here. Now it's time to get a new ride. Gwatney Chevrolet will take care of that, whether it's a car, truck, or an SUV. They got all kinds of good deals right now. Check out the website, GwatneyChevrolet.com. See all the inventory. See all the incentives. Still paying top dollar for quality cars, trucks, and SUVs. Pay over $2,000 more than Kelley Blue Book. They're going to take care of you. And not only when you're buying, after you buy your car. That's what Gwatney does. Go to the website, check out all the inventory, find a couple cars you like, call out there and say, hey, I want to test drive this. They'll have it ready for you. They'll make it easy for you. They're wanting to make some deals. Take advantage of the good weather, the good incentives, great trade-in value. Now's a good time. Really is. Good time. Get a new ride. Gwatney Chevrolet, website's GwatneyChevrolet.com. James Street exit in Jacksonville. Wes Moore, Joe Franklin with you on Out of Bounds as we finish up the first hour. Let me look at the text line real quick. See what we got. 620 says, why is that? No matter who we sign, going all the way back to 1997, it's either not good enough signing or the guys are too old. I remember when I was actually watching SportsCenter when they came out with the press conference when the Cowboys signed Primetime and handed him a $25 million signing bonus check. And a lot of people said that was a bad signing and we overpaid. That's just the critics, don't you think? You know, everybody's got to pick apart every signing, whether it's a high-price free agent or just a contributor, and the team signs him. We're not expecting him to be a star, but you know what? He provides depth, he provides competition, and who knows? Maybe it is a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll talk about the good parts of it and how this player fits in, and most of the time you're going to be filling a need. Hopefully that's the vision that the teams have because they're bringing these players in to either be starters or be there for depth. So they are filling the need, and then that way they don't have to fill that same need draft-wise. But they'll talk about that part of it, and then they'll say, okay, well, these are the cons with this player.
And a lot of times they're a free agent for a reason. You know, if the team really desperately wanted him, unless it was cap space and they couldn't afford it, they would re-sign this guy. There's normally a reason why they're a free agent.
It's not necessarily like a player isn't any good or they can't play. They just, with that previous team, sometimes you have other needs that you have to fill, and you have to put money in other places. Those are your priorities, and this could be a really good player, but they just don't fit into your cap space a certain way. And then when they hit the open market, you'll see some of these players get picked up really quickly because they're filling a need for another team.
Perfect example. A couple years ago, I guess it's been 2 years now, the Cowboys were loaded at tight end. They had like 4 tight ends, and their starting tight end came up, and they'd like to re-sign him, but the Houston Texans signed him and gave him a big contract.
Gave him what he wanted.
And you know what? He's getting paid. Good for him. Filled a need for the Texans. Cowboys didn't have to pay him that kind of money, couldn't pay him that kind of money, but they already had like 3 other tight ends. They were ready, just in case, to move on. That doesn't make him a bad player. Just means Cowboys had other needs and had that position stocked behind him, so they feel like that wasn't going to be a crushing blow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were in a great situation with him specifically.
You know, I remember when was that, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, Javonte Williams had a nice year for the Broncos. And I had him I picked him up as a fantasy running back, and he scored me a lot of points. This past year, I did the same thing because I remember that. He didn't score me a whole lot of points.
They were running back by committee this year, and you probably can point to the fact that Sean Payton, second year there, that's why. Like, before Sean Payton, he was used a lot more, and then they chose to do it by committee this year. And even based on that, Sean Payton was asked about running back position at the Combine, and he said that seems to be a priority for them. So he knew that Javonte Williams was going to be a free agent, and just looking at the position itself, they were going to have to fill a need. So he felt better about doing it through draft than free agency because now you're not tied to so much money for a draft pick.
I did see a stat about Javonte that he was one of the best running backs in the NFL at yards after contact. Like, he broke more tackles at the line of scrimmage than anybody else in the NFL.
Oh yeah, he is hard to tackle. He doesn't go down first contact.
I thought it was a nice signing for the Cowboys.
And here's another example there. That specific situation, Rico Dowdle had a good year last year.
1,000 yards.
But he's probably going to get more money on the open market than he would have with Cowboys. But they fill a need and they go sign another running back. Because even if you go back to last year and you say that there were certain teams like Tennessee Titans, they could have used Derrick Henry again, but they couldn't afford what Derrick Henry was going to command on the open market. But they fill their need with Tony Pollard. So, I mean, you see a shuffling. Even though you may be replacing the same position, you have to shuffle the money around.
Mm-hmm. Solomon Thomas was the 3rd overall pick in the 2017 draft. Maybe that's what I saw. I thought it was 3rd round, and he was 3rd overall. I just didn't read it close enough. I remember he was a stud. 3rd overall.
Mm-hmm.
He was a stud out of Stanford. I'm sure he hasn't lived up to those expectations. 3rd overall pick. Nice career, not a great career. You're picking 3rd overall. You think you got a guy that's going to be all pro. Pro bowler.
They all can't be all pro, though.
No.
That's the problem with it.
All right, coming up in the next hour, we got the Razor Hog update brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV. Coach Zimmerman will join us. And we're going to talk with the Maumelle Hornets head basketball coach, Michael Shook.
It's your Razor Hog update on Out of Bounds as Joe and Wes update you from the hill. Presented by Bradford Marine and ATV. It's fishing season. Shop online at BradfordMarine.com.
Whatever you're doing this weekend, if it doesn't involve fast horses, daily doubles, high fives, and corned beef sandwiches, you may be doing it wrong. Every weekend through May 3rd, Oaklawn has live thoroughbred racing. Whether your Oaklawn is cheering from the home stretch, dining in the Bugler restaurant, or raising a glass at the First Turn bar, your race day is whatever you want it to be. Make reservations today at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Every project is an opportunity, and every John Deere tractor is built for rising to the challenge. The Down to Earth package is built for breaking new ground. The Greenway Special is built for cutting time, not corners. And the Weekend Warrior is built for those who give it everything, even on their days off. It's your time and your land. Let Greenway help you make the most of it with 0% financing for 7 years. Visit gogreenway.com to get started. With approved credit, see dealer for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2025.
This is Chuck Barrett, inviting you to listen to me call the Hogs on 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock.
Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
A new law signed by Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders will require gun safety courses in public schools. The courses would be required yearly and include videos, online resources, and live demonstrations off campus. Those behind it say it aims to prevent accidental shootings by teaching gun safety. There's no part in the bill saying if parents are allowed to opt their children out of these courses, but students will need approval from their parents in order to attend live fire exercises off campus. It goes into effect in the second half of the 2025 school year. Conway police say a couple was arrested for their alleged role in a large-scale theft operation across multiple states. Police say Taylor Lynn Ferguson and Christina Audrey Ferguson are accused in more than 120 thefts across Arkansas, Missouri, Texas, Oklahoma, and Mississippi. The couple also faces multiple drug-related charges. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
Warm and windy today with a high of 80 degrees in Little Rock. Tonight, clear sky, cooling off down to 51 degrees. Tomorrow, mainly sunny with a high around 78. Then tomorrow night, a 70% chance of rain showers. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Tune in every Friday morning to hear Danny West from hogsports.com on Morning Mayhem. Brought to you by HJ Trailer Sales. They've got truck beds and utility trailers for every type of job and a service facility for maintenance and repair. Local folks with great products. Visit them online at hjtrailersales.com or in person at 808 Albert Pike in Hot Springs.
The king of Arkansas sports talk, Randy Rainwater for Bet Saracen.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Be sure and tune in each week when Bree Ellis joins Morning Mayhem, brought to you by the F.L. Davis family of Ace Hardware stores. Ace is a place for all of your hardware needs.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwatney Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
The Little Rock RV Expo is coming to the State House Convention Center, March 14th through the 16th. Admission is free. Tour brand new 2025 RVs with the latest features, designs, and technology. There'll be a full lineup of travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, toy haulers, and more, all with special show pricing. You can even enter to win a free RV. Don't miss the Little Rock RV Expo at the State House Convention Center, March 14th through the 16th. Learn more at campingworld.com/Little Rock.
If you're like a lot of people I know, you're spending a lot of time at home this year watching basketball and other sports, and your home's your happy place. You may be noticing, though, the scuffs and faded colors on your walls, and that can drive you crazy. That's where CertaPro can help with a paint refresh. They can make your experience worry-free, starting with a free estimate. They're always easy, and they get you a quote right away. Schedule your estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. And each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Jonathan Zaslow.
I feel like it's a little bit embarrassing for the Browns because the only way they get the really good players, or the players who they feel are really good, because we're also talking about Deshaun Watson here, they have to bribe them. Like, Deshaun Watson didn't want to play for Cleveland, and he literally crossed them off the list when he was deciding which teams he would accept a trade and an extension to. And then the Browns like, okay, but what if we bribed you with this amount of money? And then he's like, oh, of course, then I'll definitely go. I'll play anywhere for this amount of money, including Cleveland. And the same thing has happened with Myles Garrett, where, Myles Garrett, I believe Myles Garrett when he said the goal is not Cleveland to Canton. The goal is to play for and win a Super Bowl. But then the Browns, they bribed him. They bribed him with becoming the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history.
Something amazing is happening at work. Innovative tools are helping people do better work. That's because CDW configuration specialists are multiplying productivity with Microsoft Windows 11 Pro Surface devices. Built-in security, flexibility, and simplified management streamline tasks so your team can get more done. Microsoft and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/surface.
Build your business with a partner you can trust. The Home Depot. When you join Pro Extra, you get lower than shelf pricing and dedicated support to help you streamline your business and stay on budget. Get dedicated pro support for supply sourcing, custom orders, large equipment rentals, and more. At the Home Depot, we supply the support your job needs with the level of service your business deserves. The Home Depot. How pros get more done.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz. Your Razor Hog update on Out of Bounds is brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV with 6 statewide locations. Huge factory incentives going on now on most boat lines. Bradford Marine and ATV, selling fun since 1971.
Well, the word just came down. It is official. The Arkansas women are looking for a new head basketball coach. Mike Neighbors is stepping down as the head coach of the Arkansas women. Coach Neighbors said, quote, as I shared in my introductory press conference on April 4th, 2017, the opportunity to coach the Hogs fulfilled a lifelong dream. I also acknowledged there would be a time when that dream would end, and until then I pledged to do my best to make my family, my team, and my home state of Arkansas proud. One day would have been an honor, yet I've had the privilege of leading the program for 2,898 days. So Mike Neighbors stepping down, the 12th season overall as a Division I head coach? That'll create some interest, I think.
It should.
Well, first thing, they got to fix the NIL program. They got to decide, are they going to be a player in the game or not? And if they're not,
everybody should be a player.
Yep.
Like if you're in the state of college athletics in this day and you're not going to be a player in NIL, you're just going to be stagnant. You're not wanting to win.
It becomes more glaring when you're not a player in the SEC. It makes it almost impossible to compete in the SEC if you're not going to be a player. So that's the first thing that head coach or whoever applies and gets interviewed, they're going to be interviewing Arkansas. What are you going to do? What kind of resources are you going to have for basketball to compete against South Carolina, Texas, LSU? List goes on. And just in the SEC, can we compete with NIL money? And if you can't, I don't want the job.
Right. You're going to look into other options.
Mm-hmm. Other news, we had spring football started yesterday. Kind of not out of the blue. We knew it was starting, but it just kind of snuck up on everybody with the basketball and baseball and everything rolling. Next thing you know, they're on the practice field. Taylor Green spoke with the media yesterday, and he has got a ton of new wide receivers.
It's been really good, just like you said, seeing, all new faces and, just trying to get chemistry with everybody and just the, different routes and, really testing me on how much I know the offense because I got to be, the coaches aren't out there, when we're throwing, so I got to, tell them the depth and, when to cut and, even with, the new quarterbacks and the tempo with the 3-step, 5-step or anything that we do. So it's definitely testing me in my, details in the offense and, as me as a leader too. And all of them, have been really, stuck out to me. And everybody's just excited just to put the pads on. And, everybody's talking about, one-on-ones and, of course, 11-on-11, but, really the one-on-ones.
Also, a different-looking quarterback room because you had some quarterbacks leave, or at least Malachi Singleton, the backup quarterback, and then you bring in a couple of new freshmen. Here's Taylor Green.
Just the details that we've been, having in our meetings and, on and off the field, having questions. We just had quarterback dinner, and that's just really speaks to me, just especially, KJ's been, stepping up in the role that he has, and and I have to do my part, and being my last year, I got to make sure that anybody that is after me, that's gonna take the ropes, and that's what I'm really big on, just leaving this place better than what I found it.
That's great to hear. Need him to be the leader, not be an Aaron Rodgers, be a guy that's going to help those young guys, and when it's time for him to move on, they're in capable hands for the next quarterback. He's ready to take over. Well, that gives you a little confidence.
Especially if you know it's your last go-round, like he mentioned.
Yeah. One more from a Taylor Green. Year 2 with Petrino. More confidence in the offense. More confidence in himself.
I would say my confidence level is, higher because, it's my second year in the offense, and just where I was, just last year, my eyes was like, and with the offense and, getting on the same page with, Petrino and the different, plays and the run game and the different responsibilities I had to do. So I'll say my confidence level is, higher than, but, at the same time, I got, a lot to get better at, and that's what, I'm really focused on. I'm not really content, especially, the year I had last year was, good, but I could have done way better. And Coach Petrino's like the first one to, say that. And that was one of our exit meetings. He was like, you can do a lot better, and we know what to get better at. So
the Arkansas baseball team is in action tonight. They're taking on UCA. They have it's going to be the first night game at Baum-Walker Stadium. 6 o'clock start. You can listen to it here on the Buzz. But Arkansas trying to make it a perfect 10-0 homestand. They have been just absolutely dominant at home. Kind of figured out that lineup, and the pitching's been solid. And tonight they'll try to improve their perfect record over UCA. So we'll have the very latest on the Diamond Hogs too. more from Taylor Green. Talked about the wide receivers. How about the tight end room? How's that looking?
I feel like everybody's going to just to see the versatility that, the tight end room has. Of course, you got Andreas, he's coming back in his role. He's coming back. You can see him, leading the tight ends and just being, mature and leading the freshmen and, Rohan and Jaden, how they, stepped in. And, I want to say it's Rohan's third school. So, he knows how – with the new offense and new playbook, he knows how to, study and make sure he gets the plays right. And, we all have like a great chemistry and, great. I'll say the tight end room is one of the most joking, like laughs. They're always laughing, always having a good time, and, got 2 international players. So it's definitely cool to see how they interact too.
That'll be fun to watch. That is one of the things about spring football with so many new players, to try to just see these guys, learn these guys, and get a pecking order of how they're going to fall. Not only wide receivers, tight ends, the reshuffled offensive line. That's something that Coach Pittman talked a lot about, how they're moving pieces around. Our guy Fernando Carmona is going to move from left tackle. He's going to go inside to either guard or center. And that was something they kind of approached him with, but used the NFL as a way to really almost break the ice. Because, Fernando talked to the NFL and got a report back, and they thought his future in the NFL is at an inside position because of his arm length. He's not a prototypical tackle in the NFL because his arms aren't long enough. And so they said that he projects to being a guard or a center in the NFL. And
it's good to have versatility too.
No doubt. We've all seen injuries take hit an offensive line in the NFL, and if you got a guy that can play multiple positions, that's a bonus for that team. And so when Arkansas approached Fernando Carmona about going to the inside the interior offensive lineman, he was like basically he suggested maybe it's best for me in my future to move inside, and they're like, all right, we're all on the same page, let's go. So that's how it kind of all worked out. And when they went out and signed a couple of tackles, it was with the thought of moving Carmona inside, even though he very productive year at left tackle. He wasn't an issue for them at left tackle, but they feel like they can get better at left tackle and they can get better on the interior, and it's going to help him for his future in the NFL. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, win for the team, win for Fernando.
So now it's just trying to decide where all these guys fit together on the offensive line, because there are a lot of new pieces. And there are different options for these guys and where they can play. And I think without seeing them, it sounds like, and this is coming from people inside, that they're happy. They're very happy with what they've signed, and feels like this is going to be an improved offensive line, even though they've lost some pieces, but they brought in new pieces. Now it's just putting those pieces all together.
That's something that they can look at probably every year now with NIL, transfer portal, how it works. You're going to have to rebuild this roster. It could vary and differ from year to year which positions are more important, but it's something you're looking at every year now.
Joe, back in the old days, you'd sign these offensive linemen, you'd redshirt the offensive linemen. Very few of them ever played as a freshman or even a redshirt freshman. It was like they were in the system for 3-4 years, and they'd get a chance as a fourth-year junior, fifth-year senior to play, and they just kind of grow together in the system. I just wonder how many teams will be able to do that these days, to bring along a lineman who really needs it, unless you're just one of those physical freaks out of high school that you can play right away. Most times you need to go to college, mature as a young man, get bigger, get stronger, so that you can play in the SEC and wait your turn.
It's going to be an individual thing. It won't be as a team or as a unit. They're going to grow individually, probably at their first stop, their next stop, and who knows, it could be a third stop along the way. Because
they're thinking, you know what, I'll get better by playing. The more reps I get, more game reps, the better I'm going to get. It's hard to get better sitting on the bench and just practicing during the week. It's tough to have that patience. And so now it almost seems like the way to go to get, and you want an older offensive line. Well, those guys aren't hanging around campus all for 4 years waiting for their turn. You got to go to the portal, get these mature guys, these older guys who have been getting that experience and snap somewhere else, and then you get hopefully the advantage of using them after somebody else has groomed them and got them ready. Now that they're that polished piece, they've been playing for all these years, and they're mature, you get the best version of that player.
Interesting the way coaches have to view these rosters, and some of them may think that there's no benefit in getting a player straight from high school. There are some coaches that think that just the way everything happens now, and then there's some that they want to mix and match, and then you have the traditional coaches where they still are heavy on high school, and they still feel good about what they can do there. Now, of course, that could change depending on if you're able to keep these guys around, which in the past few years it says you won't be able to keep them around.
No, because it's so easy for them to just take the money and run, go somewhere else. And even if maybe it's not about money, maybe it's just about the opportunity to play at an earlier age and not wait your turn and go to a smaller school or a different school to where they have that opening and you can possibly see the field the very next year.
And it even affects the smaller schools where they get those guys and they play right away, but then there are bigger schools, bigger conferences out there. They're going through and evaluating talent, and then they're going to recruit those guys.
No, just gobble them up. It's crazy how the portal has changed the recruiting game. Did we hit on tail? I think I got all of Talon. I think we're pretty set. So we're going to get Coach Z in a bit. I noticed when you were on the phone, I was looking, and they were at shoot-around. The Razorbacks were on the floor. They're at the arena shooting, and so I thought, well, this may not be a good time for Coach Z. So we'll switch him around, get him a little bit later this hour, and check on the Razorback shoot-around. D3 Auto Sales text line. Do you get Amani Cooper to come back if he takes a lower salary and keep Cooks around so we have a great wide receiver room?
I don't know if it'll be great with Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
He went to
Buffalo
Bills and didn't do
much at all. No, I saw he's still out there and was rated like the 12th, maybe best free agent. And I thought that was high for him.
Mm-hmm.
Or it just says that there's not a lot of really good free agents. But why has he not been signed? That would be the question I've asked.
Too many drops. Inconsistency.
You know, Stephon Diggs was listed below him as a coveted wide receiver free agent.
I think Stephon Diggs may be older or there, but no, he is. He's a little bit older. I mean, by a year. But also, remember, Stephon Diggs is coming off a major injury.
As is his brother. And they don't know if Diggs will. I think he's a free agent. And so I don't know if they're going to Cowboys are going to re-sign him, but then there's that health issue too. Will he even be ready at the beginning of the season? Or is he a guy that, joined you midway through the season? There are still a lot of questions about both the Diggs brothers because a lot of people want to read into it and go, oh, well, Cowboys can use a wide receiver. Diggs is there. the brothers will reunite. I don't know if even either one of them will be there.
You know that Trayvon actually, he said that he honed his skills as far as being a defensive back by playing receiver. He played receiver growing up, and you even see that in some of these settings, Pro Bowl or whatever the case may be, that he'll line up on the offensive side of the ball, and then Stephon will get on the defensive side, and they'll defend each other, and they'll go back and forth and just really have some fun with it. But Trayvon is somebody who could give a team something on the offensive side of the ball if they needed it.
How many times do you think those brothers took reps against each other over the years?
A lot of times. But I think there's – not that there's a significant age difference, but there's a few years there where it's an age gap. So Stephon would have dominated those matchups early. But I think they've gotten closer here in the last maybe 5 years or so.
From the 501, he says, I believe these conferences, such as the SEC and the Big Ten, are going to start getting 13 to 14 teams or more in every year, especially since college sports are headed to two power conferences. Well, you're seeing it this year with the SEC, possibly 13 teams in the SEC. Big Ten's up there, too, on the number of teams that they're going to get, but it makes sense, with expansion. I mean, just this year only, that's one of the reasons why, if Oklahoma and Texas or one of them gets in, that's why the SEC is getting more this year. But this is just a special year for the SEC. The non-conference, the way they dominated non-conference games, all picking up marquee wins against ranked teams, and then the SEC ACC challenge that the SEC dominated, that just helped their net ranking, and it just became to where each week, every game was a quad 1 or a quad 2 game in the SEC. So that just helped the SEC keep piling up these large numbers, but a lot of it was in due in part to the non-conference schedule and the success they had early in the season. The Big 12 didn't have those same kind of – and definitely the ACC. ACC is way down. I saw a stat Saturday. There was one game in the ACC, and I could be wrong, and I'm trying to go off memory. It was something like there was one ACC game this year between ranked teams. And there was like 49 SEC games against ranked teams. Conference games. I'm talking conference games only because the ACC was down so far this year. It only happened one time where two ranked teams were playing each other in conference play.
Duke is the one bright spot that you can point to every year. Even UNC, they were having some struggles, and they kind of got back on track here recently, but that's one that you're always looking at when those two teams match up. But UNC has been not playing as well this year.
Yeah, you could count on that being 2 games a year of ranked teams playing each other in conference play. But, Florida State, they were down. Virginia, down. So many of the traditional powers in the ACC, not a good year. And so it's going to show up on Selection Sunday, not many ACC teams.
Clemson and Louisville look pretty good.
Yeah, but they're in the top 4 of the bracket. They're the – who was the 4th?
SMU?
No, they didn't get a triple bye. It was somebody else. Happy birthday, Wes. If you ever want to play CCA, just let me know and tell your wife hello from Alicia. All right, Alicia, I'll take you up on that. Thank you, and I appreciate the birthday wishes. Do you think they will put us playing in Rupp Arena in the tournament? I do. I'm counting on it. That's the way the NCAA operates. I think they would love to see Calipari and this Arkansas team have to go to and make that a storyline. And Joe and I were just talking. There are regionals across the country that you tune in and watch, and it's not packed. It's not well attended. And you want to immediately make sure Rupp Arena is going to be packed, you put Calipari and Arkansas in there. And those Kentucky fans are going to buy the tickets, and they're going to go, and they're going to cheer. Some will cheer. Most will boo and root against Calipari. But I think it only makes sense. I could be wrong, but my guess, Arkansas goes to Rupp Arena.
ACC-wise, looks like 7 teams. Stanford, they're probably on the line or whatever, but same record as Arkansas. They're 19-12.
I have not seen. I know Lunardi put out a new one today, but I haven't clicked on it. I can do that right now. But Arkansas only moved up like 2 spots. They're still in the first 4 without the play-in game. I thought that they would get a bigger bump by beating Mississippi State, but it was a very small bump. And look, sometimes it has to do with everybody around you also had a win or did a good job, but not big impact. But Arkansas still safely into the NCAA tournament right now. All right, here he is. Let's see what Lenardi says. Sorry, gosh, didn't know it was going to take all day to load. That's ridiculous. All right. Last 4 with byes, Utah State, Arkansas, Baylor, and San Diego. Right now, SEC has 13 in, Big Ten 10, Big 12 8, ACC 3.
3?
Clemson, Duke, and I guess it would be Louisville.
UNC is 20-12.
UNC's out. They're the first 4 out, according to Lenardi, with Boise State, Texas, and Colorado State. So Texas, first 4 out, meaning Texas has to win. They have to beat Vanderbilt. No doubt about it. Oklahoma playing Georgia. Oklahoma probably needs a win. You hate to be on that last 4 in line and lose your first game. Talk about sweating. And, you know, I go back to our conversation we had not too long ago about Arkansas. You lose to South Carolina, does that put you in Dayton in the play-in game? It very well could, because they're still on that last 4 bye right now with Baylor, San Diego State, and Utah State. And if they were to drop a game against South Carolina and drop a couple spots, yeah, that would put them in Dayton.
We shall see what happens.
Let's take a break. We'll talk some high school basketball. We know these matchups. No speculating. 5A boys is going to be awesome between Benton and Maumelle. We heard from Benton's head coach a little earlier. Michael Shook, Maumelle's head coach, is next. It's Out of Bounds.
Floyd's Seafood, Kill Avenue in Sherwood is your homesick Cajun headquarters. King cakes are in, live crawfish too. Place your orders by 2 p.m. Thursday for weekend boils. Floyd'sMeatandSeafood.com.
This is Sports Center.
The Arkansas State men's tournament hopes came to an end last night as they lost to Troy 94-81 in the Sun Belt Conference Final. It was a historic season for the men as they had their best record in program history at 24-10. It was also historic for the women's program as they beat James Madison 86-79 in overtime to clinch the Sun Belt and reach the NCAA tournament for the first time. In Arkansas football news, wide receiver Bryce Stevens, who has seen limited run in 4 seasons, is flipping to defensive back for his 5th season. The Razorbacks are a bit thin at the position currently and could use the depth. And Arkansas baseball gets back to action on the diamond today for an in-state matchup as they host Central Arkansas. First pitch is set for 6. Coverage can be heard on The Buzz. I'm Christian Weaver with The Buzz Radio Network.
Great Scott! Back to the Future is now on stage, and it's a jaw-dropping spectacle Raves USA today. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious entertainment. March 12th through 16th at Robinson Center. Get your tickets yesterday at CelebrityAttractions.com.
Hey, it's Randy Rainwater from Drive Time Sports. Tuesday, Rick and I have a great show prepared for you. Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen, going around the horn and over the fence with Kevin Bohannon. Thanks to Fence Brokers and Chris Walker. Kevin Scoop McPherson and Hogsports.com, Trey Biddy. Thanks to Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway. What a show! See you Tuesday on 103.7 The Buzz.
Tito's Handmade Vodka presents the 2025 Buzz Spring Golf Tournament, April 14th at the Burns Park Golf Course. Register your 4-person team now at 1037thebuzz.com. Special thanks to Twin Peaks, Michelob Ultra, and Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
Whatever you're doing this weekend, if it doesn't involve fast horses, daily doubles, high fives, and corned beef sandwiches, you may be doing it wrong. Every weekend through May 3rd, Oaklawn has live thoroughbred racing. Whether your Oaklawn is cheering from the home stretch, dining in the Bugler restaurant, or raising a glass at the First Turn bar, your race day is whatever you want it to be. Make reservations today at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Pat Bradley for Wood Grill Buffet. Wood Grill has the state's largest and freshest buffet with 190 items, including 30 meat items, food bar, salad bar, and dessert bar. Wood Grill is open Thursday through Sunday for lunch and dinner. They have 2 large private dining rooms, and Wood Grill also does catering. Wood Grill Buffet can drop off any order with staff service for 25 to 1,000 people. Wood Grill is at exit 118 in Benton, 1916 Congo Road, or call 501-778-9656. Check them out.
Hey folks, Trey Johnson with HJ Trailer Sales. Thank you for making us the #1 North Star truck bed dealer in the world. We have the newly redesigned North Star beds in stock, but don't forget our trailers. Hillsboro, Hart, Good Guys, Iron Bull, Delta, and Airtow. If you make a living with a trailer or use a trailer in any way, look up your Hometown Trailer Store on Facebook. Get big store amenities with hometown service. Stop by HJ Trailer Sales in Hot Springs or Paragould, or online at hjtrailersales.com.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deals so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 2.99% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Tucson, or get $2,250 bonus cash. See your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 469-405-7740 for details.
Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse presents Match Game on Morning Mayhem. Listen for your chance to play their version of the classic TV game show. Brought to you by Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse, Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters for over 30 years. Call 501-568-0040 today or click online at arkansastruck.com.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
A day full of breaking news. 35 minutes ago, we told you that Mike Neighbors was stepping down as the Razorbacks women's basketball coach. And now John Rothstein is reporting Boston Celtics director of scouting Remy Cofield is leaving the NBA to become the general manager of the Arkansas Razorbacks athletic department. So, according to John Rothstein, the Razorbacks have their GM. And it's Remy Cofield, Boston Celtics director of scouting. I saw that he was also before that, the general manager of the Maine Red Claws.
Yeah, which is their G League team.
I'm still trying to do some digging on Remy's past. I just wonder if this is got some connection to Coach Calipari. Almost like a basketball hire. I mean, he's a general manager. He's going to run the entire athletic department, but so many people, when you're thinking about the general manager for athletics, you're thinking a football guy to help the football team. Do some more digging. Hey, let's talk some basketball. Big one Friday night. 5A state championship game. Benton, Maumelle, Hot Springs. Going to be a ton of fun. Right now, we got Michael Shook, head coach of the Maumelle Hornets, joining us. Coach, welcome in. How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Oh man, it's been one of those days. Just got stuff happening left and right today during the show, which I like. That's good. That's why we're here to talk a little sports. Let's talk about your game. What a great matchup. I mean, there's so many people been kind of hoping for this matchup, wanting to see this matchup, and we get this matchup.
Yes, sir. We're extremely excited. Benton's been the odds-on favorite to win it ever since the state championship ended last year, and they're a phenomenal team, and we think we're pretty good too. And so we're excited to have the opportunity to be there, and look forward to seeing what we can do.
Coach, what's the run been like? Ending regular season and going through this playoff run for a chance to win a championship.
Sorry, I didn't hear the very first.
So what's the run been like? Going through regular season, getting through playoffs, and now you have a chance to win a championship.
Yes, sir. It's been a fun roller coaster ride. We just like a lot of teams, we've had our fair share of ups and downs. We've been fortunate enough to win quite a few games, but we haven't necessarily played really good basketball until here at the end of the season. But these last couple of weeks, we've been playing really well. Guys are really trusting each other. They've bought into playing on the defensive end, and it's kind of taken us to another level. That's what you talk to any basketball coach at any level, and they'll say they want to be playing their best basketball in March. And so that's where I think we're at right now.
What did you learn about your team up in Paragould?
That when they are, like I was referencing earlier, when they're playing defense and when they're trusting each other, we're really good actually. They have a few challenges here and there. The Russellville game, Russellville came out early and played really well. And at halftime we talked about some adjustments and things, and the guys made those adjustments, and then we were able to pull away in the second half. When we played Hot Springs, it was a totally contrasting style for us, and so it was good to go up against a team that, pressured, and they played a lot of zone. They trapped a bunch, and again, it was one of those things early on. We held our own, but then once we made a few adjustments, we were able to kind of stretch that one out. And then in the third game, we were playing a familiar foe in Catholic, and that team, they play as hard as anyone in the state. They're always very disciplined, and they're the opposite as far as style of play from us, and so it was pretty similar to the first two as far as it was close early on, and then we were able to kind of get comfortable, step up, and extend the lead in that second half. So I know Benton's going to be the complete opposite. They're looking to play as fast as possible, and they may have the best transition game I've seen in a long time. So it'll be quite a bit different than the games were at the state tournament, but we're excited for the opportunity.
Little Rock Christian is a really good team. That's your one conference loss. You had another really close game against them. How has that matchup gotten you ready for what you may see in this championship? And then conference play as a whole, how has it prepared you for this moment?
Yes, sir. Christian, they've got a great team. Obviously, they've got arguably the best player in the state on their team. And so having to guard a guy like JJ, along with the guys that they have around him that are capable of shooting the ball, is, it's similar to Benton. With Terrion, he's a tall, athletic guy like JJ. He can, he can post you, he can drive to the basket, he can shoot the ball well, both left-handed. So there's a lot of similarities there. And then, like I said, the supporting cast around and their ability to shoot. Now, Little Rock Christian doesn't have a Harrison Pickett, but they've got good pieces around, and I think that game, it was good for us to be tested. The first time we played on at their place, it was close until a couple minutes left in the game, and we ran out of gas, and the final score wasn't indicative of how the game played out. And in the second game, it was kind of the opposite. We jumped out on them real big at half, the first half. And got comfortable, and credit to Little Rock Christian, they fought back and made it a game for us. And I think that's one thing that, in this conference, we were tested night in and night out, and I think that helped prepare us for, we've been in these close games, and we've had to fight and find a way and things like that. And so I'm hoping that that'll be an advantage for us in the finals.
Got Maumelle head coach Michael Shook with us, talking on Out of Bounds about their big matchup against Benton on Friday night. Coach, do you want to go up and down, or would you like to slow it down? Does pace matter to you?
So we tell the guys all the time, we're looking to push the ball when we get the opportunity, and we will definitely do that in the game Friday. But I do think that there will be times where, we will want to slow it down. Like I said, I think Benton has the best transition game of any team I've seen in years. But I think in the half court, I think we can guard them. And so if we can make it a half court game, I think that's to our advantage. I know they're going to try to speed us up, and they're going to press, and they're going to trap and do all of that. And I think if we can beat it, or when we beat it, definitely I want to be, in attack mode and looking to score and get each buckets, but we also want to make sure that, we don't make it just a complete track meet and allow them to get into their full transition game.
Coach, your roster, what are some of the players on the roster, what are their strengths and what they bring to the table in helping this team win?
Excuse me. Yes, sir. Well, I'll start with the man in the middle, Malik McGuire. He's an X factor for us. He's a great shot blocker, great rebounder. He will be a big part because Benton's got so much size. Next, you got Jace Tillman, who he's been playing phenomenally the last couple of weeks. He's really stepped up, being more aggressive. He's a 6'4" kid that's real strong, does a good job getting to the basket, can knock down shots, and he's he's been guarding the other team's best player the last couple of weeks. Martaylon Rochelle, he's a Maumelle staple. He's the man with the goggles, the silent assassin. He can kind of do it all. His second jump is phenomenal. He scores inside. He can knock down jump shots. Great defender, long, athletic. And then the other two starters are two guards. Cedric Jones, he's as quick as can be. Really good at getting to the rack, but also able to collapse the defense and find the open man. He's got good court vision and a really good three-point shooter, shooting around 42-43% from three. And then Derek Lewis, he's the glue guy. He's the vocal leader on the team. He's the one that settles everybody down when things are getting out of hand. He knows the offense in and out. He gets people where they're supposed to be. And when we do call set plays to slow things down, he's kind of the manager out there, making sure everybody are doing what they're supposed to. And then he's also a scrappy defender and will get after people.
Coach, what would this mean? A state title for Maumelle?
Well, we're 0-3 so far, and so it would mean so much. I mean, obviously, these guys they've been talking about it from day one. It's been a goal for them, and so I know it would mean so much for them. Obviously, mean a ton for me, having come up short a few times, but also this week I've had many alumni and guys that have played in this game, reaching out and sharing their congratulations, but also their confidence, that this is the year. And so I know that it would mean a lot to the school, the community, and obviously to the current team and staff.
Well, Coach, best of luck. We appreciate your time, and we will see you down there Friday night.
And thank you very much. We're looking forward to it.
Michael Shook, Maumelle Hornets head basketball coach. When we come back, we'll get Coach Z on here, talk a little Razorbacks basketball. He's down in Nashville getting ready for the SEC tournament. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
The Little Rock RV Expo is coming to the State House Convention Center, March 14th through the 16th. Admission is free. Tour brand new 2025 RVs with the latest features, designs, and technology. There'll be a full lineup of travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, toy haulers, and more, all with special show pricing. You can even enter to win a free RV. Don't miss the Little Rock RV Expo at the State House Convention Center, March 14th through the 16th. Learn more at campingworld.com/Little Rock.
Fellas, if you're not feeling that same energy anymore, testosterone therapy or TRT may be the answer. Look for personalized treatments like you'll get with the experts at Low T Center. Low T Center brings over a decade of experience. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Every project is an opportunity, and every John Deere tractor is built for rising to the challenge. The Down to Earth package is built for breaking new ground. The Greenway Special is built for cutting time, not corners. And the Weekend Warrior is built for those who give it everything, even on their days off. It's your time and your land. Let Greenway help you make the most of it with 0% financing for 7 years. Visit gogreenway.com to get started. With approved credit, see dealer for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2025.
Willie D's Rock and Roll Piano Bar open every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Cold drinks and dueling pianos. Deep Nightclub downstairs hosts karaoke on Tuesdays and DJ Spin on Friday and Saturday nights. Visit WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
Beer Pong Champions. Brewski's Downtown is bringing the heat with the 8th Annual Beer Pong Tournament Sunday, March 16th at 2 p.m. $3 green beers, $3 Lucky Jello shots, because winning tastes better with a little luck. Mark your calendars. Sunday, March 16th for the 8th Annual Beer Pong Tournament at Brewski's Downtown. Registration is free. Sign up your team now at brewskispubandgrub.com. Brewski's, your home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort. Now, I know you're probably spelling comfort in your head and asking yourself, is that possible? Am I just a really bad speller? Look, I don't know your spelling aptitude, but Skechers most definitely put the S in comfort, because Skechers is the comfort technology company and has developed fits and features that change everything you know about comfort, like hands-free Skechers slip-ins, the ultimate in comfort and convenience. It's footwear you just step into and they're on, with no bending down. Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
Take the party wherever we go.
Get to Twin Peaks right now for happy hour. Started at 2 o'clock, goes on until 7. There's a later happy hour, 10 to close, featuring flatbread starting at $8. For the current happy hour, you can get apps starting at $2. Lunch combos starting at $7.99. You can check Twin Peaks for daily and weekly food and drink specials and any of the sports that you want to watch. Twin Peaks has TVs everywhere, inside and out, to see all the sports action. College basketball, NBA, combat sports, boxing, MMA, college baseball. Major League Baseball is about to start soon. It's right around the corner. Twin Peaks is a perfect place to watch it. Conference tournaments starting up, and Twin Peaks is the perfect place to watch that. Get by and watch Arkansas tomorrow taking on South Carolina, and sign up for Twin Peaks Bracket Challenge. TwinPeaksBracketChallenge.com is the place to sign up, and there's a chance to win $2 million in prizes. So sign up right now, TwinPeaksBracketChallenge.com. It's Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
How about some more breaking news? This from Tiger Woods. As I begin to ramp up my own training and practice at home, I felt a sharp pain in my left Achilles, which was deemed to be ruptured. This morning, Dr. Charlton Stucken of Hospital for Specialty Surgery in West Palm Beach, Florida, performed a minimally invasive Achilles tendon repair for a ruptured tendon. The surgery went smoothly, and we expect a full recovery. I am back home now and plan to focus on my recovery and rehab. Thank you for all the support.
Wow, one thing after another with Tiger.
Oh, my. I mean, I don't know if there's different – I'm sure there are different levels of ruptured tendons, but usually you think of ruptured tendon, you're out for like 10 months to a year.
Yeah, he should be around that same timeline.
Ooh. Wow. Well, it happens in threes, right? Mike Neighbors steps down as the head coach. Arkansas hires Remy Cofield as their general manager. And now Tiger Woods, ruptured Achilles. So I go back to my argument with Acree a long time ago. Tiger should have retired a long time ago. He was done. I mean, he's done. I mean, all he's got left is to play on the Champions Tour, come to Little Rock.
You want to see him there.
Yes, that's it.
It won't happen this year.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. Coach Z's there. What's up, Coach?
What's going on, Wes?
Oh, just all this breaking news left and right. I mean, that's 3 breaking news stories.
Yeah, that's a lot going on. And, you know, we got to go to Vanderbilt this morning and practice, and I'm surprised Vandy let us back in there to the scene of the crime last Tuesday. But they let us go back in the arena and practice. Appreciate that, because you only get 40 minutes at Bridgestone, and then we ran over to Bridgestone, and all the stuff broke, with Coach, neighbors, and people were calling, from mid-morning on. You just didn't know anything. I didn't know anything, and then obviously that coming out, and then just a lot going on, and the team here trying to find a way to win some games in this SEC tournament.
You know anything about Remy Cofield?
No, I was reading a little bit about him. That'll be great. And Hunter's here with us on the trip, and I didn't get a chance to ask him after that news broke. So we'd been hearing, for a little while that something was going to happen with this general manager position, the position we've not had at the Arkansas Razorbacks. But now, as everything kind of evolves more to revenue share, a more professional sports model, and you still can pay players name, image, and likeness, but the revenue share changed so much. When you talk about that $20.5 million hitting the athletic budget, and so you got to have, I think, someone that's going to be able to help manage that and help deal with these coaches. But at the end of the day, you still got to be able to decide what we got. 19 sports, what's getting one. Obviously, football is going to get a huge piece of it for sure, because it's our top revenue producing sport. But you got to take care of men's basketball, and you got other. You're going to try to take care of all your other sports, your non-revenue sports, and the Arkansas fans love those. And we love the teams that really don't generate any money, but we love to see them win, whether it's soccer or softball or the track programs or whatever. So when you can put women's basketball in there, it's not just a revenue producer, but there's been some places around the country where women's basketball has been able to produce some revenue.
Coach, it is the latest trend that's taken off where you see that some schools have hired GMs, and then it's almost as if there's a need that every school at some point has to hire this GM to come in and run the entire program.
Yeah, there is, and it's all SEC schools are kind of going to that. The SEC and the Big Ten are controlling everything. They're dominating everything. I got a visit today with Commissioner Sankey, and he was awesome, and he talked about that. But I was just like, I was so impressed with look at the things you've done, and the SEC has just continued to elevate in everything. And we talked about the days when I coached in the league where there was 3 bids, and he talked about that and how hard that was. We had a lot of good teams, and we could only get three bids. Some years we'd get 5, and now we're going to get. He said the goal is to have 14. That's what we want is 14 teams, and so Commissioner's done a good job, and it's a 2-conference domination is what it's turned into. But, man, I love watching these games these last couple nights. I mean, a good friend of mine, Scott Civils, has a son that plays at Wofford. He had 20 last night, and Wofford was a 6 seed, win the SoCon. Man, that's college basketball. I love that so much.
Coach, we know what they can't do against South Carolina. What do they need to do to have a much different result tomorrow?
Colin Murray Boyles is the key to everything. When you let him dominate, and he got into our guys were 3, 4, 5 inches taller than him. Whether it was Big Z or Trevin or Jonas, those guys are so much taller than him. But at their place, he put his shoulders into their chest. He pushed, and he got those guys out of the way, and he powered up and scored en route to 35 points. We got to make it a lot harder on him. He can't get going because he was so dominant in that game in Columbia that allowed just 2 or 3 of their other players to make a play or 2 here or there. And as long as they were able to do that, they had that big lead, and then they just coasted on down the road. They're up 35, and we lose by 19. We can't let him dominate. To me, is the biggest thing, and we need to get out playing faster. We just play better fast. Hard to say that when you got 7, right? But this team has shown when we get out, when we push it, when we play faster, when the score's higher, we do better. And I think Coach knows that, and he wants to do that. And, you got 7 guys now. You got a couple other guys you're keeping an eye on and hoping that they get back to get us back to that 9-man rotation. But it's not going to be 9 men tomorrow. And so you're going to have to go out and battle. Now, the good thing is South Carolina doesn't have a super bench, and so hopefully you can kind of take care of that a little bit. And we're just going to have to shoot better. There's no way you can shoot as bad as we did there. We made 3 baskets. That's the least amount, I think, in Razorback basketball history for a half. I've asked 50 people that. Nobody really knows the answer. but I don't think we've ever scored less than 3 field goals in a game in a halftime. And so we just have to be much more aggressive. And in the second half, we were much more aggressive in that game. And of course, I love that game against Vanderbilt here. How the guys attacked, they shot it better, they were confident, they were jumping around, they were trying to dunk everything, they were getting out in transition. But we're going to have to do that to win this game tomorrow. Wear these guys down.
Coach, what did the team look like at shoot-around today? We have about a minute.
Yeah. Oh, they were good, guys. I mean, they've been really good. I thought the practice over at Vandy where they really got into the nuts and bolts of how we're going to guard and what we're going to run and the things that the game plan stuff was put out there. When we went over to Bridgestone, we had 40 minutes. It was just a lot of shooting, getting a lot of shots up, getting used to those baskets and rims and running some drills and getting up and down the floor. But I really loved what they got done at Vanderbilt. Had a really good practice over there. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to come early. I'm going to go over to that gym about 9 o'clock, and we're going to tip it off at noon.
It'll be fun. Coach, thanks for catching up with us today. We appreciate your time.
Okay, guys. All right, thank you.
Matt Zimmerman with us on Out of Bounds. We'll take our final top-of-the-hour break. Coming up next, we've got What's Trending. We also have Kyle Sutherland talking some high school basketball, get his thoughts on these 12 state championship games. Stick around. The final hour's coming up next. It's Out of Bounds.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Drew Self in Hot Springs, Todd Matthews in Benton, or Alex Blake in Little Rock today.
If you have a passion for adventure and unmatched quality, then head to Honda of North Little Rock for the best lineup of quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. They have Honda's best models and will find the perfect ride just for you. That's Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
The king of Arkansas sports talk, Randy Rainwater for Bet Saracen.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Razorback football, basketball, and baseball right here on your home of the Hogs. 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
State lawmakers are considering a bill that could allow drivers to continue through red lights. The bill would treat intersections like stop signs. All drivers would still be required to stop at red lights, but if no one else is at the intersection, you could proceed through it. The bill made it through a committee and will be heard in the Senate this afternoon. One of the former Crawford County deputies caught beating a man during an arrest in 2022 is appealing his sentence. Levi White was sentenced to more than 5 years in federal prison for using excessive force, but his co-defendant was only given a year in prison plus a year of supervised release. White's attorneys say the punishment is unreasonable and that the difference in sentences between the co-defendants is unjust. They are asking the appeals court to vacate White's sentence and order a resentencing. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
Be sure and tune in each week when Bree Ellis joins Morning Mayhem, brought to you by the F.L. Davis family of Ace Hardware stores. Ace is a place for all of your hardware needs.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
It's going to be another beautiful sunny day, but it'll warm up to 80 degrees, plus a little windy. A southwest wind 10 to 20, maybe some gusts around 25 miles per hour. Tonight, a clear sky will drop off to the lower 50s. Tomorrow, a mainly sunny day, highs in the upper 70s. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Tune in each week when Susan Irwin Prowse shares her Keys to the Weekend music events calendar with Justin and DJ. Brought to you by Willie D's and Big Red Dog Productions. Big Red Dog Productions is your gateway to music excellence in Central Arkansas and beyond. Visit entertainersguide.com to see the weekly calendar and submit your shows.
Whatever you're doing this weekend, if it doesn't involve fast horses, daily doubles, high fives, and corned beef sandwiches, you may be doing it wrong. Every weekend through May 3rd, Oaklawn has live thoroughbred racing. Whether your Oaklawn is cheering from the home stretch, dining in the Bugler restaurant, or raising a glass at the First Turn bar, your race day is whatever you want it to be. Make reservations today at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
Hey Arkansas, Montana with Hubbard Power Sports in Russellville. We're your Arkansas Can-Am and Sea-Doo dealer. Are you looking for your next adventure? On the road, on the water, or in the trails? We've got the ride for you. At Hubbard Power Sports, Can-Am, and Sea-Doo of Russellville, we are proud to say we offer the best customer service around. We've won multiple awards for our level of excellence in many different categories, but our customer service is the one we're the most proud of. Come and see us Monday through Saturday or give us a call. See our current inventory, apply for financing, and value your trade at our website, hubbardpowersports.com.
It's Justin Acree. If you're dealing with back or neck pain, the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health is here to help. Whether it's neurosurgery, orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, or pain management, their experts have you covered with the latest technology and minimally invasive techniques. They're focused on reducing your pain, improving mobility, and getting you back to doing what you love. Call 501-686-TOSH to set up an appointment today. That's 501-686-8674. The doctor will see you now.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super size laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
Boys, if you're seeing this, the unthinkable has happened.
Bubba's dead?
This is how your father's business works. The life of crime and the life of this deli.
You were born into this. Dad was a murderer. We could go to jail.
We're innocent.
We'd be the first innocent brown people in jail. Oh my God.
There's a gun in the credenza. Finish him off now.
What?
What part of this are you not understanding?
Credenza, if I'm being honest, I don't think I know what that is.
Deli Boys. All episodes are now streaming on Hulu.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G
Live
speeds.
from the
Additional
Gwatney
terms apply for
Chevrolet
phone.
studio.
See Verizon.com for details.
Is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz. What's Trending in the World of Sports is sponsored by Arkansas-based West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee and their 1.5 million coffee farmers around the globe as they fuel Arkansas with great tasting coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
Been a day full of breaking news around here. Let me get everybody caught up just in case you're joining us at the top of the hour. Started off a couple hours ago. Mike Neighbors announced he was stepping down as the head coach of the Arkansas women. Then we had the report from John Rothstein that Kimmy Rofield, the director of scouting for the Boston Celtics, was leaving to become the Arkansas general manager for the athletics department. And then Tiger Woods announced he ruptured Achilles tendon while working out. Had surgery to repair the torn Achilles. So not a good day for Tiger. Not at all. Whew. News flying left and right. By the way, you got the UCA Sugar Bears at home tonight, playing in the semifinals of their conference tournament. One win away, moving on to the championship game. We really hadn't talked about Arkansas State at all today. Of course, the Arkansas State women won the Sun Belt tournament and advanced to the NCAA tournament for the first time ever while we were on the air, so we were talking about that yesterday. But last night, boy, the men dropped a heartbreaker. That was so disappointing. When Darian Ford hit that three with 10 minutes to go and they went up 8, that was the first time I was like, you know what? I think they're about to do this. And then Troy goes on a 24-4 run. Went from 8 down to 12 up. And it was over. I kept waiting, thinking Arkansas State was going to call a timeout and kind of readjust, regroup, and he just kept letting them play. And I'm sure that's his style. That's the way Musselman would do it. You know what to do, but kind of got away from their game and couldn't make any shots. And then Troy, man, they just started attacking the hole. What happened? Arkansas State got into foul trouble. Their bigs were in foul trouble, and Troy exploited that, drove to the basket, and just kept getting some nice drives. Made Arkansas State pay. But heck of a run, heck of a year. Come up a game short. Let's go to the NFL. Talk some more free agency. We're going to start with the Seahawks. Sam Darnold going to the Seahawks. Here's Rich Gannon on the move.
It's an organization that's committed to doing the things the right way. They've had structure and discipline there. They've had a great coach and great general manager, and they brought in a good young coach that I thought did some good things in his first year last year with Mike McDonald. And they've got a new coordinator in Clint Kubiak that, that's been around. It's got a lot of experience. It's been exposed to some good people in Minnesota and San Francisco and other places. So, I just think that's a good fit, Bruce, for Sam Darnold. A team that's, going to continue to address the offensive line. We talked about their personnel. They got some good running backs with Walker and Charbonnet. They've got a good tight end in Noah Fant and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think they'll continue to rework and reshape that wide receiver room with the free agents in the draft and a defense that played well last year. And so we'll see. We'll see what this looks like. But I think it's a good fit for Sam Darnold, Bruce. When you think about going to a place, if I'm the agent for Sam Darnold, I want my quarterback to go somewhere where not only does he have a chance to win, but there's some stability around him. And, you go to a team that, won some games last year. I mean, I think that's the impressive thing. I think you look at the fact that, in Mike McDonald's first year, heck, they won 10 games. And they were 7-1 on the road. You got to be better at home, but that's a good situation for Sam Darnold, Bruce. No way around that.
Who would have thought they'd have gone 7-1 on the road and struggled at home of the 12th man? It's usually the opposite for Seattle.
Yeah, you want to play better at home for sure, but that is impressive. Like you mentioned, 7-1 on the road, really impressive. And
when they made some of the moves that they did, it seemed like they were. I mean, first they get rid of Geno, and then they're going to trade away DK Metcalf. It was like, and then the other receiver,
Tyler Lockett. They released him,
but Lockett was probably on his last leg.
There,
it was time for him to move on. But the perception is Seattle is rebuilding. But I thought he made some good points. They have good pieces there, and by getting the quarterback they think is the future and build around him. Maybe they aren't just rebuilding.
Yeah, Geno, they actually tried to get a contract extension with him, and talks broke down, and he got upset about it and pretty much shut down communication, and that's when the trade happened.
Kind of forced their hand. We got to get something done. If not with you, with somebody else. All right, moving on. Little trash talk. Grady Jarrett to Jordan Love.
I got well, you better pipe down, look. Go. You better pipe down, look. I just gotta get to him. When I get there, I'm gonna give him a little hug, put him down. I ain't gonna do nothing too crazy. But I'll let I know I'm gonna get there though. It's gonna be all love. I know you're gonna hustle.
No love for love, baby. Where did this come from?
Grady Jarrett. It was during gameplay. Let me see the exact source on it. But the thing about it, what makes it relevant, is Grady Jarrett just signed with Bears, so they'll be playing twice a year. And somebody was able to pull some audio from a game where he was with Falcons most recently and playing against Jordan Love, and they had a little trash talking going on.
Now he gets to play him twice as many times this season.
NFL films.
Okay. Tiki Barber, he's upset.
So they had a listener call in. Tiki does a radio show, and a listener was talking about Giants losing and that they had a chance to improve their draft for this year's draft, and Tiki Barber kind of goes off on him, saying that that's not the right way to handle it, is trying to lose games.
You don't try to lose, dude. I mean, I wish you'd called earlier. Charles, I wish you had called earlier, but that's the most ridiculous phone call I've ever heard in my life. No player or coach is ever going to try to lose a football game.
I don't get that.
And if someone calls the station again and says they should lose a game, I'm hanging up on you and banning you from the station. It's the stupidest, most ridiculous thing I've ever freaking heard. So stop saying lose games so you can draft higher. The draft is not a guarantee. Rookies suck too, by the way. So forget thinking you're going to change your franchise by losing games. It doesn't work that way because you end up firing people. Everybody has a negative connotation about the organization. Free agents don't come, and it all starts because you want to lose one game. But you want to lose one game, then you want to lose 4 games, and you want to lose 10 games, and you want to suck. And when you suck, guess what? People say you suck.
That's well said.
So stop calling and saying lose games. I hate it. You guys drive me freaking insane.
That's real good.
Oh, yeah. And he's been there on the player side, so he knows. He knows exactly what he's talking about there. And that is a fan perspective throughout. It doesn't go to players. It doesn't go to coaches. The organization, they're not in it to try to lose. No. Now, if you happen to lose and you get into that position where you're picking number 1 overall, then okay. I mean, it shows that you have a lot of holes to fill, and you want to be able to best match that within the draft. But like you said, you're not just trying to lose games just so you can go from having the 3rd overall pick to having the 1st overall pick.
Where that needs to come from is management. Players do not want to lose. The coaches are coaching for their life. They don't want to get fired. So it needs to be management saying, that knee it's worrying us. You need to shut it down for the rest of the season. And we need to get you right for next year. And you do this with multiple players that you want to ensure, A, they do get healthy and they're ready to go next year, but it also is going to limit what you can do as a team, and then that doesn't ensure you're going to lose, but it increases the odds. It handicaps the team.
Now, coaching staff, they have that power where they can do that and shut down some players, because we see that happen quite a bit where once you're out of playoff contention and you have about 4 games left, you don't want to have a player that is important to that team risk for injury at the end of the season when you're not playing for a playoff position. So we've seen that happen, especially at the quarterback position, where some of these guys have injury clauses in their contract. Teams aren't wanting to pay that out. And not only do they not want to pay it, they don't want the player injured. They want them to possibly be a part of the roster next year, or if they're a vital trade piece, they don't want that player injured because now they can get something in return from another team.
How about the Cowboys shutting down CeeDee Lamb? Remember, he was dealing with the shoulder injury, the AC sprain joint. He was trying to play through the pain. They shut him down. Lose a couple more games, end up with the 12th pick instead of the 16th pick. That could help tremendously. Let's go to the NBA now. Here's J.J. Redick after losing to the Nets.
Just throw the ball to the guy, and you play 4-on-3.
Do you know why that wasn't happening as much?
I think it was a very low-level communication game for our team, yeah.
You knew you were going to be shorthanded, but what's the kind of frustration level at the guys that you had out there not playing better?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think being shorthanded is an excuse for how we played basketball tonight.
JJ, you guys shot 2 free throws in the first half. A lot of griping from your players. Do you think that took them out of any sort of rhythm?
No, I think it was just an overall mentality just to take shortcuts tonight. We just wanted to take shortcuts. Too many. Yeah, they scored 20 points on us gambling. They had 16 offensive rebounds. We ball watched all night. We said no dare shots. I'll go through it. They probably made 6, 7 uncontested threes. Just shortcuts. You want to be a good team, you want to win in the NBA, you got to do the hard stuff. We couldn't even pass to each other. We couldn't enter our offense running ball screens literally at half court. Yeah, that's going to end up in a turnover. I don't know what we're doing.
Frustrating night for the Lakers. And we'll finish up with Coach K and his thoughts on conference tournaments.
We're just less than 2 weeks away from Selection Sunday. And really, to me, the tournament starts later this week with all the conference tournaments. Every school is really in the NCAA tournament because of conference tournaments. I wish people would think of it that way when they're thinking of expansion and wherever it goes. Everyone is in it.
Right.
Everyone's got a chance. 2 of my former players, Kenny Blakeney, who's the head coach at Howard, and Tyler Thornton, his assistant, they were practicing here over the weekend, and we had a chance. And they have a losing record. They've had a lot of injuries, and their league is terrific. And I told them, I said, you got 2 more games, you're going to be 0-0. And you know what? Everyone that in that tournament is 0-0. And I said it's a fresh start. It's a fresh start. So a lot of teams, we all get a fresh start.
Yeah.
And let's see what the heck happens.
I'd nitpick a little bit. Not every team gets a fresh start because not every conference allows every team into the postseason tournament. If I could change something in the basketball, that would be one of them. Every team gets a shot at the postseason tournament because there are circumstances with teams, like he said, with injuries. They're lucky enough that they're in that postseason tournament, but there are plenty of conferences out there that does not put everybody in that conference tournament.
That's a money issue with the conferences
Some of the smalls.
that don't include all teams. More free agency news. Kevontae Turpin signs a 3-year deal to remain with Cowboys.
That's good.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he was traded from Eagles to Texans. And Daniel Jones joins Colts. He's going to be in a battle with Anthony Richardson for starting quarterback.
How about that?
And he's making $14 million this year. So 1 year, $14 million contract.
Richardson's still on his rookie contract, so he's making more than the incumbent starter, but sounds like it's going to be an open competition. At least that's a good way to push a young quarterback, make him battle for the position and be at his best.
Daniel Jones has a similar skill set as far as being able to run, maybe a more accomplished passer. So we'll see how this battle shakes out.
Well, I think it's good for the Colts too, even if, let's say, Jones doesn't win the battle and he's the backup. Well, we've already seen Richardson and have health issues as a running quarterback. You've got another quarterback that has similar skill set that can take over the offense in case there is an injury. So it's probably a pretty smart move by the Colts.
Oh, yeah. Great move. And then it works out for Daniel Jones.
All right, we'll take a break a little early. We got Kyle Sutherland coming up, and we've got state championship games to talk about. We've enjoyed having Kyle on, talk a little high school hoops with us throughout the year, and now we get the final game, boys and girls. We'll hit on that when we come back. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Floyd's Seafood, Kill Avenue in Sherwood is your homesick Cajun headquarters. King cakes are in, live crawfish too. Place your orders by 2 p.m. Thursday for weekend boils. Floyd'sMeatandSeafood.com.
This is Sports Center.
The NFL's first day of free agency was yesterday, and there was no shortage of headlines. The biggest deal by average annual income was handed to Sam Darnold, who received 3 years, $105 million, with $55 million guaranteed from the Seahawks. That's good for around $33 million a year. Darnold is coming off easily his best season, where he threw for over 4,000 yards and had 35 touchdowns and 12 interceptions for the Vikings. Pro Razorback Dre Greenwald is moving from the Niners to the Broncos on a 3-year, $35 million deal. Injuries have been an issue for Greenwald, as he's played just one full season and is coming off a season in which he played only 2 games. And the Commanders and Texans pulled off a blockbuster deal that sent left tackle Laramie Tunsil and a 4th rounder to Washington for a 3rd rounder and a 7th rounder this year, plus a 2nd and a 4th in 2026. He will slide in as the new starter for the Commanders. Stay tuned to The Buzz for more updates during NFL free agency. I'm Christian Weaver with The Buzz Radio Network.
They say you never get a second chance to make a first impression, and that's your home and your business. So if your business needs a touch-up, call CertaPro Painters and let them handle the job for you. They provide excellent workmanship, quality, and a worry-free process for both residential and commercial spaces, all at the right price. You've got to focus on your business. Let them focus on your painting. Schedule your free estimate today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Get your estimate scheduled today at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Great Scott! Back to the Future is now on stage, and it's a jaw-dropping spectacle rapes USA Today. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious entertainment. March 12th through 16th at Robinson Center. Get your tickets yesterday at CelebrityAttractions.com.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwatney Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Thompson Electric presents Jackson Wells each week in the Zone with Justin and DJ. Thompson Electric since 1983, providing innovative electrical solutions for your business. To learn more, check them on the web at thompsonelectric.com, or you can search Thompson Electric on Facebook and Instagram for more information.
Roger, did you know that Oaklawn Sports is the mobile app that lets you bet anywhere in Arkansas?
Anywhere, so I can bet the over when I'm in Dover.
Indeed you can.
I can take the underdog in Dogtown.
Absolutely.
You're telling me I can bet on the pigskin in Piggott?
Yep.
Hoops in Humnoke, baseball in Bauxite, long shots in Lavanka?
All of the above.
Anywhere, huh?
Anywhere.
Nice.
Easy to use and even easier to fund. Bet with confidence. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center in Benton proudly offers compassionate and loving care to our veterans, meeting the unique needs of every veteran who calls Heartland home. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com.
The electric cooperatives got its start lighting Arkansas, and we continue to meet that demand with every resource we can deliver. We're powering your life where you live every single day through one of 17 local cooperatives, each unique, always united, and in your community. Our mission? To provide reliable, affordable, and responsible power to every corner of Arkansas. It's the local hometown cooperative way, because we're better connected together. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas.
This is Pat Bradley for Wood Grill Buffet. Wood Grill has the state's largest and freshest buffet with 190 items, including 30 meat items, food bar, salad bar, and dessert bar. Wood Grill is open Thursday through Sunday for lunch and dinner. They have 2 large private dining rooms, and Wood Grill also does catering. Wood Grill Buffet can drop off any order with staff service for 25 to 1,000 people. Wood Grill is at exit 118 in Benton, 1916 Congo Road, or call 501-778-9656. Check them out.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
Give me something I can feel. Light a cigarette just so I can breathe. Give me something 700 feet off the coast of Green. Give me something I can feel. No reservation, pulling 20 deep.
Welcome back. It is Out of Bounds, and Gwatney Chevrolet is going to be a great place to visit over the next couple of days. The weather is awesome. It's perfect for walking the lot and looking at vehicles. And look, you don't have to walk the lot. You can go to the website, GwatneyChevrolet.com. Just go through all the vehicles right there, all the inventory, new and previously owned. Got a ton of previously owned cars right now. They had a good end of February. A lot of people trading in their vehicles, buying new cars. Now, Gwatney's turning those around and giving you some great deals on that. Well, very affordable vehicles. If that's something you're looking for, give them a shot at Gwatney Chevrolet. New vehicle, they got those too. SUVs, trucks, of course, Silverado, the Trax, hot selling vehicle. Good deals on those. They're going to take care of you when you buy and after you buy. That's one of the great things about Gwatney Chevrolet. Still paying top dollar for quality cars and trucks and SUVs when you trade those in. $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book. Thinking about buying a new car? Now is a good time to act. Check them out. Gwatney Chevrolet. That is the James Street exit in Jacksonville. Wes Moore and Joe Franklin with you on Out of Bounds. High school basketball state tournament starting up Thursday. We will be down in Hot Springs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Or not Sunday. May stay Sunday. Who knows? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Nah, just 3 days. 3's enough. Let's bring in Kyle Sutherland. He joins us now. I know he's ready. What's up, Kyle?
I am ready to roll, Wes. You got it right. I was just telling Joe that last week was definitely draining. I talked to you guys on Tuesday, and then through Saturday we were covering the entire state tournament. But I'm locked and loaded, ready to be in Hot Springs.
What would have been your thoughts so far on what you've seen in the teams that actually made it for championship games?
Honestly, Joe, I would say just about not everything, of course. We always have some surprises, but for the most part, I'm not saying I called it or anything, but I just wasn't shocked by some of the results that we saw in the teams that are going to be playing in Hot Springs. I think probably 6A girls was a little bit shocking to a lot of people because we knew Fayetteville and Fort Smith, especially Fort Smith Northside. They've been a top 5, top 10 team all year. But the fact that Conway isn't in there, the fact that maybe a Springdale Harbor, a Springdale is not playing, that's kind of was a little bit shocking to people maybe outside of Fort Smith Northside and especially Fayetteville's area. But I think we forget that Northside, of course, Ricky Smith, I think this will be his 12th title game that he's in. And then also Fayetteville, we knew that they were really good, but we felt like they might have been about a year or two away because 2 of their best players are a freshman and a sophomore. So that was probably the most surprising, and maybe 2A boys, which we can get into here in a second. I'll touch on a little more there, but those are probably the 2 that I was the most shocked by.
Well, we got the 2A boys Thursday at 1:45. That follows the 2A girls game between Barton and Izard County, Tuckerman and EPC. What are your thoughts?
I would say, Wes, that I'm not necessarily shocked they're here, but I mentioned, I guess around regional time, how the 2A2 regional was by far, in the boys in particular, the most competitive. And you looked at that championship game with Izard County and Cedar Ridge, and with them coming in as the 1 and the 2, you're like, okay, if it's not England, it's probably going to be one of those 2 teams, just with how they have played all year. But in turn, it ended up being East Poinsett County and Tuckerman, who were the consolation teams in that region. So East Poinsett County, of course, is the defending state champion. Tuckerman has been good really last year they improved a lot, but They've got Amari Neal, who's signed with Georgia Southern, 60th ranked player in the country per 247. So they've really got some pieces this year that they built around him. They've gotten hot at the right time. So EPC came out of nowhere last year and won their regional, and then got hot, won their regional, won state. This year they were pretty good all year, had a few slip-ups in regionals, and now they're back in the state championship to defend their title. Marcus Paxton has done an incredible job there. To me, 2 years in a row, Coach of the Year resumes, and Tuckerman's kind of that one coming up that their star, Amari Neal, is trying to get a ring before he leaves.
What are some of these matchups you look at and say that that's something that could go either way on boys and girls side?
I definitely think you look at 1A for Mark, because Mark Tree, this is their third year. Of course, they lost on that last-second bucket in 2023 to County Line, and they beat Nevada last year. Earl and Mark Tree, they obviously know each other really well, have played multiple times already this season. I think that probably coming into this year, it was a really good chance for most people that this was who it would be. I think a lot picked Mark Tree to repeat and knew that Earl, with Teron Hurst, Derek Lately, those guys, that they were going to be pretty good. But I also look at 4A girls. I'm really intrigued by that because all season I've told you guys that I felt like Nashville, PA, DeQueen was the top big three as I've referred to them all season. And those three teams were three of the represented. Of course, Nashville lost by a pretty substantial margin to PA, and so it's pretty obvious that PA and DeQueen are the top two teams in this turn, or in this the 4A classification, I guess that's to say. So I've mentioned Randy Stewart and Greenlee Elmore, Madison Sanders, Sophia Boyd for PA, but then you also got the Lyle twins, of course, at DeQueen. Emma Chambers, Landry Ligon are some other ones to watch for in that one. So I think this 4A girls matchup is probably one of the ones, especially probably more so along with 3A. When you look at Dover and Lamar, that's probably the two classes on the girls side that I feel like is probably the most wide open.
Yeah, you look at DeQueen and PA, 73-1 between the two. That's pretty good.
Yeah, because the Queens only got one. Yeah, they got that one loss to Nashville. So of course they beat Nashville again once they played again. But
or I guess
71. That is
71-1. I did my quick math wasn't good.
Yeah, because PA's they're at 36-0 now.
Yep.
I guess it is. Man, I'm just can't credit Coach Yarbrough enough. Man, what a job she's done there in year one. But she had a lot coming back that have gotten a lot of minutes under their belt. So,
how about the 5A girls with Farmington and Greene County Tech? If anybody could give, Farmington's non-conference schedule inside the state was well they weren't tested. Greene County Tech, maybe they can give them their first test inside the state.
I would say, Bologna tested them, but that was probably the first one. So semifinal game, that was the only time that they had been tested for sure. Because right now, you look at Greene County Tech, they've won 24 consecutive since like mid-December, I think it is. But then you look over at Farmington, and they've won 88 consecutive against in-state competition. Wes, the last game they lost was the one you called in 2022 when Sidney Townsend for Nashville hit that game-winning shot. And then, of course, they did lose. Farmington did to Webb, Tennessee, a really good team during a tournament, so they've won 17 straight. But Bologna was really the first one that gave them a push all season, and that was a 9-point game. Bologna actually led for a decent amount of time in the first half. But then you look at Greene County Tech, and that's what Jason Smith, he told me specifically that we just got to make sure we worry about us because a lot of teams are already beaten before they even play because they know what Farmington's done. They know what they bring to the table. But Easton McCall is going to get her buckets. We know that. That was what Bologna was trying to do, was shut her down. Anytime she got the ball, they were all over like white on rice. I mean, just anywhere she was, they were all over. Then they started feeding inside to Casey McCumber and then also to Zoe Bashirs, both going to play college basketball. So they started getting it inside, and that's really how they ended up taking charge and getting the lead and winning it. So it's just so hard to beat this Farmington. And not to take anything away from GCT. They've proven what they can do as well. But you just look at what Farmington has done overall the past few years and then up in Class 5A moving up this season. It's just really hard to bet against them.
Kyle, you mentioned Easton McCullough. Who are some freshman standouts we can look forward to seeing in these championship matchups?
Most of them right now. Peyton Cottle would be one of them. I think she's got Mississippi State and a couple of other. She's actually got multiple big-time offers. She goes to Fayetteville, and then also Sanaya Coachman, that's a sophomore. She's also going to be another big-time prospect. But for the most part, you got a lot of sophomores. You got and juniors as well, of course. You got Journey in 2A. You got Journey Jefferson and Jada Maples at that's Earl. So I'm sorry, 1A. That's actually one I was thinking of Barton. But at Barton, you've also got some college guards in Demaya Wilson and Jakira Jackson. So there is a lot of youngsters. You look at PA. I just mentioned Randy Stewart and Greenlee Elmore, some great sophomores. I know that I'm certainly missing plenty. But there, Easton McCullough, I would say, guys, if anybody is not super familiar with high school basketball in Arkansas and you're going to watch the games, I highly recommend you follow Easton McCullough. She's going to end up being one of the best we've ever seen come through here. Already a top 10, top 15 player nationally. She got offered by the Razor. Of course, I know, we saw the news of Coach Mike Neighbors earlier today, but Coach Mike Neighbors offered her before her 8th grade year, if that tells you anything. She's got multiple college offers already as a freshman. So one of the next big ones in the state.
Kyle Sutherland joins us on Out of Bounds. Kyle, we hadn't talked a lot about the 4A boys game. I'm very excited about that. I think it's going to be a fantastic matchup between Morrilton and Mills. What do you think about this?
I love it, too. Mills has been one of the ones that we've talked about. They've been the highest-ranked 4A team all season. I think one of the bigger surprises in all of the state tournament, boys or girls, was Eastham. Shout out to Monty Patel and Eastham Miss. They did an incredible job. What a great game plan that was to beat Forest City. I think just about everybody and their mom probably projected Forest City and Mills would be in the semifinal round, and that didn't happen. And so now you've got a Morrilton team that we've talked about for the past few months that, of course, is playing for their fallen teammate C.J. Clemens, and they've been great, man. You look at just some of the performances that they've had. They've been good all year, but they played a pretty tough non-conference schedule, and really once they got into conference play, picked it up. Isaiah Templeton has been massive for them, and then you also look at Mills, and a lot of the familiar names we've heard over the past few years, Anthony Hester, Zaylon Rowland, Marshall Walls, one that's really begun to step up as well. So I think this is pretty evenly matched. We've seen with Mills that there are plenty with the Halls, even Eastham, a couple of others that you could point to that have played them really, really close in 4A. But that's the thing is, I think they've won 20. Their win streak's in the 20s at this point. So they've been able to win the close games on top of the lopsided ones, and I think that's what Morrilton's going to have to look at because they lost to them. Morrilton lost to them in the 4A3 regionals. So I think they're going to be able to take away a lot from that game that they will be able to put towards winning a state championship.
Also Friday, Momel and Benton. What do you think of that matchup?
I would say, Joe, that this one, along with 6A, just pick the star, and that there's so many guys that have proven themselves in this one. But, of course, I know it all starts with Carryon Burgess. That's the one that everybody points at Benton. But then you look at what Harrison Pickett did, who's been incredible, especially in the second half. He was awesome during the state tournament. Then you had guys like Javarius Russell, Braylon's little brother, and also Elam Shelby, who was great. So, Coach Hendricks, he's just really put a great team together there. And then also at Maumelle, they every single year they seem to be in the mid. Just in 2021, they were in the state championship game. 2022, they lost in the first round when Bologna played keep away, and then 2023 lost in the quarterfinals. So they're pretty much in that mix just about every single year. And I think, guys, I had a chance to call the quarterfinal matchup with Hot Springs on the Maumelle Sports Network, and I've watched a lot of these teams over the past few years with Maumelle, and they are as together as I've ever seen them. Malik McGuire's exceptional down there as a shot blocker. Derek Lewis, Seth Jones, and there's so many of them, or Kaylin Rochelle, that have just done a great job, and Jace Tillman has been a great addition for this team. So it's just stars galore in both the 5 and 6A matchup.
Yeah, yesterday we had Mike Abrahamson on from Bryant, and that sounds like it's going to be a fun game with the athletes on this floor, the players, the just the caliber of player. It's going to be an up and down fun game to watch between Bryant and Springdale.
One of the most fascinating matchups I've watched all year was the one with Harbor and Bryant, because even in a losing effort, and despite the fact that he was fighting foul trouble, Cortland Moultrie put up 35 for Harbor. But then you look over at the other side, and Kellen Robinson puts up 30. I know that between R.J. Newton, Kamarian Bead, R.J. Young, and Kellen, nobody had less than 16 points. Those guys they got their points that day, and that makes sense because that's their 4 stars, but it doesn't stop with them. Just like it doesn't stop with even the starting 5 with Springdale. Of course, everybody's going to point to Isaiah Seeley, the Razorback signee, but DJ Hudson's been big for him. Cy Bates has been one of the more underrated players in 6A. He doesn't put up a load of stats. He's maybe like a 9-10 point a game guy, there's also going to be about 9 or 10 rebounds. So around, averaging a double-double. So it is really, I know I've said it a few times now, but with this 5 and 6A game, if you're going to pick 2 games to watch, especially on the boys' side, probably one, and you just like sheer athleticism and a lot. I mean, there's going to be a lot of that in these games, but those 2 in particular, I think we're in for some treats.
Anything else stand out to you about these championship games that are coming up?
I'm really interested. I think 3A boys is one we hadn't touched on. Logan Bailey in his first year at Melbourne. Now, Logan has really quiet. He's a younger guy, so he's probably early to mid-30s. He's kind of quietly becoming one of the better coaches in Arkansas, guys. A couple years ago when Jonesboro won the state championship in 6A, their first year in 6A, Cabot took them to the wire in the semifinal game, and Logan was their coach then. And now in year 1 at Melbourne, thought they had a chance to be pretty good, but here they come, and they beat Bergman a couple times, who had been number 1 all year, and all of a sudden now they're in the championship game. So, I think they're facing up against a really good Osceola team. Got maybe the best defense in 3A. Coach Basemore is in year 3 there, and got them in the championship game for the first time since 22. So I think that Osceola defense against what Melbourne brings, Hayden Edwards was phenomenal for them during the tournament. So I think that matchup's going to be a lot of fun.
How about Earl getting both teams there?
Yeah, there's a lot of Bulldogs, Wes. I mean, I think half the teams are Bulldogs, and Earl, they're girls and boys add to that. But I think that's going to be a lot of fun too. Just with Journey, like I said, the backcourts on both of these teams are phenomenal. Journey Jefferson and Jada Maples there for the girls, and then you look at Derek Lately, Aiden Davis, and Teron Hurst. He's been like a highlight reel. I've seen a lot of his stuff on Twitter this year. He's a junior guard and can jump out of the gym. So loads of athleticism. Coach Miller and I talked a little bit here and there, and we had talked before the season, and he felt like this had a chance to be pretty special, and now they've got a chance to dethrone the defending champs.
How many of these games are rematches?
Oh, during
the regular season, not necessarily.
So Marktree and Earl, that's from the regular season. Now Tuckerman and EPC only played in the regional championship. Mills and Morrilton, they might have played in non-conference play, but they played in the regional. There's actually quite a. Maumelle and Benton did not play. No. Westside and Earl girls played in the region. So I feel like there's mostly regional rematches, and because I'm going through here and I'm like regional. So to answer your question, though, there's a lot.
Yeah, there are a bunch of familiar opponents, which will make it even better the next time around. Because we've done these games before where they'll play a couple times in conference, maybe the district tournament, then the regional tournament, and then again in the state tournament. There may be the 4th or 5th time for some of these.
Yeah, you see this. I don't see 5th. The most recent time I can think of seeing a 5th time, that was actually in softball when Bradley and Taylor in 1A played 5 times, and I think Taylor won it 3-2 the series that year. But you see some 4s a decent bit, but 5 is very rare. Mm-hmm. I think I've maybe seen that once or twice.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Well, can't wait to get down there, and we'll see you Thursday.
All right, well, we'll see you in Hot Springs. Y'all take care.
All right, later, Kyle. Kyle Sutherland joining us. Yeah, that would be right, because you don't have a district tournament. You'd have 2 games in district or conference play, then the regional tournament, then you can meet them again in the state tournament, possibly the state finals for a 4th time. 12 o'clock, noon Thursday, 2A girls. That is Barton and Izard County. RJ Hawk and myself will be on TV for that. And then you got the 2A boys. Take a break. 3A girls, 3A boys. That's your Thursday lineup right here on The Buzz. We will take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap this thing up. Final 3-hour show of the week. We made it.
Oh, yeah. Only 2 days.
Tomorrow, a little shorter show because of Razorback basketball. Noon tip-off for them. Once they finish up and the Razorback post-game show finishes up, Joe and I will be here until whenever 4 o'clock rolls around for Drive Time Sports. But we will be here and talk a little Razorback basketball. We'll take a break. We can take some phone calls. When we come back, stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
The Little Rock RV Expo is coming to the State House Convention Center, March 14th through the 16th. Admission is free. Tour brand new 2025 RVs with the latest features, designs, and technology. There'll be a full lineup of travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, toy haulers, and more, all with special show pricing. You can even enter to win a free RV. Don't miss the Little Rock RV Expo at the State House Convention Center, March 14th through the 16th. Learn more at campingworld.com/Little Rock.
If there's anything green in your yard right now, it's probably a weed, and you need to do something about it. Weed control and fertilization service from Sanders Ground Essentials is easier and less expensive than doing nothing or even trying to do it yourself. 315-9395 or go online at sandersground.com. Let's get growing.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see shelter agent Stephen Elmore, 501-537-0959.
Crawfish season is finally back at Eat My Catfish. We've got fresh, live crawfish, and all you have to do is just add the fixins. Be sure to come see us or order online at eatmycatfish.com. Eat local, eat fresh, Eat My Catfish.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
What if your limited inventory had unlimited potential? What if your biggest risk was not taking one? What if you could make every move matter? Bank of America's Business Solutions can help bring your biggest what-ifs within reach. Find out how our digital tools, cutting-edge insights, and trusted expertise can work for your business. What would you like the power to do? Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
What's going on, everyone? DJ Williams here with the Buzz, and as always, Wednesdays, my favorite days. We got Arkansas's ace on the mound, Gabe Gackle. That's thanks to Positively Sports Award presented by Arkansas Digital Media and Billy Awards and Conway. Always got to love our sponsors for making things happen. Speaking of that, Little Rock Athletic Club, I want to personally thank you for allowing Coach Kevin Kelly to come up here each and every week and hang out with us. It's one of the highlights of the week. And as always, we got Entertainment Report sponsored by Bell and Sword and Birthday Trivia thanks to Brewskis. Make sure you tune in The Zone, where sports and entertainment come crashing together.
Out of bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us. Let's take some calls. 661-1037. Hoggy is up first in Valonia. What's up, Hoggy?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully we do good in the tournament. And, yeah, I'm going to be real short. The other day, I was talking about I had different celebrities and celebrities' family that worked with me. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
And I said, Darren McFadden's brother, and you asked what name, and I couldn't remember it. And so I was thinking about that earlier. That I thought I asked some of these guys that he was in the apartment with, and so I found him. He'd been there for a while, and Derek.
Okay.
McFadden. Does that ring a bell?
No, but you did say he was
No?
his younger brother, so that's why it does.
Huh? Yeah. He's younger. Definitely. But yeah, Derek McFadden.
Okay.
And I remember when I talked to him, I said, "Well, it's like you should be playing ball or something." He said he got hurt in playing when he was in high school. He got hurt real bad, and he couldn't play no more. Is what he told me.
Gotcha. Okay, Hoggy. Thank
So
you.
anyway, all right, guys, y'all have a good one.
See you, man. Check the D3 Auto Sales text line. Chico in Pine Bluff says, do the Diamond Hogs play today? Haven't gotten to listen for a minute. They do. Well, tonight. They play UCA tonight up at Baum Walker Stadium. So you'll be able to check them out, see if they can keep that winning streak going, keep the bats going. Head to Ole Miss this weekend. 13th, number 13, Ole Miss.
Opening on the road,
Yeah,
too.
opening on the road, just like the women. Women fell in the polls.
Yeah, they do that every year, though.
Yeah. Nah, man, just opening at Ole Miss in SEC play. Nick from Whitehall. What is the difference between a general manager of athletics and an athletic director? Why do we need both? Well, your new general manager, this comes John Rothstein, had the report. What was the guy's name? Cofield? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
The director of scouting for the Boston Celtics has been hired as the new general manager for the Razorbacks, Remy Cofield. The Remy's job is going to be over the distribution of funds, with the new settlement, NCAA settlement. Each school is going to be responsible for divvying up, I think it's like $24 million to their student athletes. And so that's going to be part of his job. That's going to be deciding which the program players, who gets what. He is going to be a part of negotiations for these NIL deals for individual students there within the university. And that was something that Coach Pittman said that he wanted for the program because if he felt like it puts him in a tough situation to where a player comes in and says he wants X amount of dollars and coach is there trying to negotiate with the player and trying to tell him, no, this is what we think you're worth. This is what we got for you. Here's what you can have.
Also, I think there's confusion in the difference because we're talking about Remy Cofield coming in over all athletics, and you see that some schools are hiring specific for
football general manager,
specific for basketball. So that's where the difference is. He's going to do all, as far as we know.
Yeah, as far as we know, that would be my next question. Does that mean this is the only hire, or will there be other hires that you'll have a general manager for football only, like we see at other schools? Or is it Arkansas taking the route where he is going to do every individual sport? I don't know. That's a good question. But Hunter isn't involved in these negotiations. Hunter is
that's something you don't really want to put on an AD.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I mean, if there's a school that felt like their AD would do this additional duty and additional job, then you're talking about paying an AD more to make that happen. Or you can open up a position and dedicate that money specifically to another person.
I think we all agree this is a full-time job. And your athletic director already has a full-time job. I don't think you want to put that on your athletic director. This is too big of a responsibility, and I think you need to have somebody in that's in charge of divvying up all these funds. And I wouldn't be opposed. No, it's not my money that the university is spending. I wouldn't be opposed if there was a general manager for football. I think that sport is so big with so many scholarship athletes that you may need one person just focused only on football. And maybe he reports to the overall general manager of the university sports athletic department. Unless Remy's, because you think about it, if Remy is over the whole thing, well, most of the money is going to be going to the football department. So he'll be spending most of his time dealing with the football and a little bit less time dealing with all the other sports.
And it'll be interesting to see what support staff is like. Is that strictly from an athletic department, or are you hiring support staff also?
Yeah, is that a one-man job, or does he have people underneath him working for him? It's so new that we're just kind of figuring things out as we go. It sounds like they may be too. How the heck is Oklahoma in over Arkansas? They did beat them, but only won 6 conference games. Well, Oklahoma's not in over Arkansas. They're in with Arkansas. Both teams are in right now. Arkansas is actually a little ahead of Oklahoma. Arkansas is on the last 4 teams in without the play-in game, whereas Oklahoma right now is playing in the play-in game. But, yes, you could look at it and go, 6 wins? 6-12 in conference, and they're in the NCAA tournament. But that goes back to what we've been preaching for weeks. Quit looking at the SEC record. Don't worry about the record. Take a look at their net ranking. Take a look at the quad 1 victories, what they've done. And Oklahoma's had some nice wins outside of conference, and then their 6 wins. I guess we're in pride. I don't know their resume, but it's good enough to barely have them in right now.
According to Bet Saracen, Arkansas is a 3-point favorite over South Carolina. Over under 139, and there are lines posted for each SEC conference.
All the
game.
SEC games? Mm-hmm. Well, that line has actually gone up since this morning. I checked it this morning, and Arkansas was a smaller favorite. So some money has been coming in on Arkansas, and the over-under, I believe, was at 139 when I looked at it this morning. Texas is a 2-point dog to Vanderbilt. That over-under is 148.5. And I would say jump on the over. I think that game goes over. By the way, the A-State over, easy last night. Remember, it was at 140 when I got it, and it went up to 141 while we were on the show. They scored like 170 points last night. When it was 43-41 at the half, I was like, this is going over. LSU, a 9-point dog against Mississippi State. And then the other good game in the first round of the SEC tournament, Bet Saracen has Georgia, a 2.5-point favorite over Oklahoma. By the way, Brian Edwards sent me that. He likes Georgia. He's already on Georgia for tomorrow. He was listing off a number of reasons, but just basically the way Georgia's been playing as of late, and they've been covering as of late. He thinks Georgia wins this game and knocks off Oklahoma and covers.
Listen to Brian. He has some good picks.
And he got it at 2.5, and it's still 2.5 on Bet Saracen. I would say we'll talk more about those games tomorrow, but probably tomorrow we're going to be talking about Arkansas, South Carolina, and recapping, hopefully, a Razorback victory, and they're getting ready for Ole Miss. Have a great night, everybody. Joe, have a good night. Short show tomorrow. We'll be here.
Birthday.
Drive Time Sports is next.